Boom, boom, bow, bow, boom, 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 bow. Happy New Year, everybody. Woo!
Happy 2024.
Would not be the new year without some technical difficulties, and I think our camera is a little out of focus. Let me fix that.
Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you all. Please ignore the fact that I didn't really get ready for today. I apologize.
Let me pull the chat up.
I am preserving energy where I can.
We had 2 issues literally right before we get started. I go to unplug my keyboard from the USB cable, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't connect anymore to the Bluetooth. I tried like resetting or something, so I've got to do some more in-depth troubleshooting for that. And then while I'm messing with that, I'm looking for a cable that's long enough that I can connect it directly to the computer. Jordan's like, why is the stream not going? I was like, what are you talking about? The stream I started like 5 minutes ago. She's like, oh no, it didn't. So I scheduled the stream on my phone, and I guess you can only do it from your phone now, because I've scheduled streams from my phone before, and suddenly it doesn't work anymore. So I had to, and it wouldn't let me change it to streaming from desktop. It was like grayed out. So
Rory,
love
Kavanaugh,
that.
welcome.
Somebody at YouTube is getting an email because, oh my God, that was.
Welcome to the Terrestrial Kingdom, Rory. We're glad you're here. Tinkerbell gifted a bunch of memberships right before we hopped over. So thank you to Tinkerbell, if she's still in here. Someone noticed my sweater. Yes, this is my Crescent City sweater.
Otter Postal Service.
Y'all know.
Yarn Gang working on a bralette top. Nice. Carolyn. I still have never sorted it out, but I'm going Caroline. Joseph Smith and Shirley Temple recommend are here. What?
Joseph Smith.
Shirley Temple recommend. I love that. I love a good pithy pseudonym. Are we all caught up on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
So
No,
we haven't
Jordan.
been watching this season, but I watched the TikToks after everybody was saying like how crazy the finale was. So I watched the TikTok with Heather and everybody, which if you remember, this is a little bit of lore because we haven't talked about it in a while, but if you remember, I met Monica in passing because the therapist that she saw during the season was my boss. And so I was there for the day that they filmed content with Monica was the day that I was working in the office. Because I worked on Saturdays, and so they filmed on Saturday. So I was there the entire time that they were filming. It was hours. Oh my God, it was the biggest pain in the butt. She was very.
They were probably stretching one session out for an entire season.
100%. She was very nice. Like I only interacted with her like very, very briefly. She was very, very nice. So, but the therapist that she met with was my former boss. I don't work there anymore, but. She's a lovely therapist, and so it
Say hi to Baloney.
It made sense. But yeah, so I knew about Monica and who the new cast member was going to be on the new season before anybody else did. So I felt pretty cool about that. But Monica sucks. So like, that's not the cutest thing in the world. But I will say tea from that, like it was planned for her mom to be there. And then my boss was told the day of that her mom didn't show up, or her mom wasn't going to show up. And so that wasn't like a scripted thing that truly happened. Her mom was planning on being there, and everybody was under the impression that she would be. So fun fact about Real Housewives.
Oh yeah. Oh, everybody wants the nail check, Jordan.
Oh, okay. How do I do it?
Nail check. Here, I'll just do a close up on your face real quick. Nail check.
I have nails again. It's very exciting. I love them. I'm adjusting to having long nails again. It's been a minute since I have had long nails. So I love You guys have a very observant
Lauren, welcome to the terrestrial kingdom.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. Welcome.
Gorgeous, loving it, love them, love that.
Thank you.
Love it, Lauren. Rory.
Okay, did I miss anything else? New job is jobbing. Getting established with a new agency is always
Quabity Ashwoods.
a challenge because you're building up new clientele and everything. So if you need a therapist in Utah, come talk to me. But I do love
Let me
my job.
clarify that for her. If you need a new therapist and you live in Utah.
Yeah. If you live in Utah, have an address in Utah, then you can see me.
Kyle, new job sisters.
New job sisters.
Let's go.
What?
How was everybody's holidays?
Holidays.
Christmas, Hanukkah, fucking Saturnalia, I don't know. Winter solstice, celebrating another year, just making it to the end. We have it. This is our first stream back, so we got to get the tea, Festivus, yeah, all the above. Kwanzaa. I've never met anybody that celebrates Kwanzaa, but I've lived in white areas my whole life, so 10 inches of snow today, dude.
We got nothing.
Kazoo had a great Christmas.
He did.
He also decided at Christmas that he was no longer sleeping until 7. So
He also decided that
best he can
get
do
out
is
of his
6. Worst he can do is 4:30.
bed. Yep. We celebrated the start of a healthy gay pregnancy. Congrats.
Let's go.
My partner got me Hosier tickets. Oh, I'm so jealous. I love that man.
Temple tickets. Let's go. What's Kazoo's favorite gift?
Oh my God,
Lord.
Kazoo's favorite gift. Should I go get it?
There's a couple. Yeah, go get it.
Okay.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. All kinds of good gifts. Not a single, like, hardly anything of snow, which is really pissing me off because right now it's 28. It's supposed to get down to 5. Nothing of snow, just really bad wind that was blowing over all our Christmas decorations and shit. So not even anything to show for it. Although we definitely have not made it down to minus 36 Celsius. That it sounds awful. It's going to snow a lot. I know. I just feel like every year we were in Utah, like it was the snowiest winter of all time, like snowier than any winter I had ever experienced growing up here. Here while we were there, and now we're here, and they're getting like major snow squalls and shit over in Utah. So, oh Lord. Jordan's got it. This is the fave.
This was the Christmas fave, which I'm very proud of because, hello, it's Target. So it's very cute. It has a little scanner that makes a little scanning noise, which is adorable. And then it has all the cute little buttons on here. It also came with a shopping cart, which is adorable. It came with a red card. Consumerism, my friends.
Oh, dude, we love that consumerism. I love microplastics
We love microplastics
in my
right?
bloodstream. I love it.
So it came with this and a shopping cart, and oh my gosh, like he played with this forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got this a few months before Christmas because I thought he would like it, and it was like the favorite. So I was like, I know my kid. I know what he likes. He loves it. He got a bunch of other stuff too, and
Shani, is there supposed to be snow this week?
so
Is that why?
he's very like
he
blessed.
loves to help with the scanning of the groceries and stuff. Today he was kind of mad because I don't see any forecast of snow. Anyway, today at the grocery store he was kind of miffed at me because he was like, I want to go and scan them at the hand scan. I was like, well, we have a lot of stuff today, buddy. Let's go to a check stand. Oh. But you can help me put the stuff on the belt. Okay.
He likes to help.
This kid too. My boy loves the solar system. And at this point today, I quizzed him right before bed. We have a little like painting of the planets in the solar system, and he can name them all without any help. He just has the visual. He can name all of them. He can tell you that Mars is red because of rust.
He can tell you the mountain on Mars.
Yeah, Olympus Mons.
He can tell you the coldest planet.
Yeah, he can tell you that the wind in the Great Red Spot on Jupiter is faster than a Ferrari.
He's very intelligent, this child.
And then every night he likes to stand on the windowsill and say goodnight to the neighborhood and everybody. And then the other night I was like, after we were naming the planets, I was like, I have night sky on my phone. Let's look out your window and see what planets we could see if it were dark enough. And we'll say goodnight to the planets. It was choice. I was so proud. It was a fun time.
We love to see
That's what we do every day now.
We do have the glowing stars on his ceiling.
Yeah, I want to get some planet ones. I haven't found any that I like because they're just the little plastic ones.
STEM Kazoo unlocked. Yeah, it's freaking cold. That's for sure. Made a spreadsheet of the LICSW license requirements for work today.
Claire, my parents live in Thornton. I was literally there yesterday, so yeah we feel you.
Yeah, the licensing requirements for therapy makes my head hurt.
Sky Guide, I'll have to check that one out. I've really liked Night Sky. So they have all the planets, all the constellations, satellites, and even other stars and galaxies on some of them. I think if you have the expert upgraded one, it's even better. I saw somebody mention Rory, I think it was, More Cooking with McKay. We actually recorded one, cocktail edition, because I've never done cocktails before. So we were testing out a cocktail, which turned out pretty choice at the party. So I'll just edit that together and I'll put it out for everybody.
Yeah, we filmed the whole thing. We just need to.
Yeah, we'll put it out for the patrons,
for the Patreons, for the members. So if you're not a member already, hop on.
And if you haven't noticed already, we switched it up from the little stars that YouTube defaults to, and we have our own little pack of signifiers for however long you've been a member for. I don't know which month.
I don't remember which one is
which one corresponds to how many months, but they do look cool.
They do look cool.
It's better than the baseline stuff. So there's that. If you're in the Discord, I boosted the hell out of our servers. So now there's also little custom icons.
Yeah, there's custom icons in the Discord now.
For that, little badges.
So go do that.
And they're cats on the Discord.
Yeah.
They're meme cats. It's dope.
It's so cute.
Yes, Downey, you have one.
Emma.
All the people in the Discord, if you're a member, you're a patron,
Emma.
You have one for sure.
So, and you can switch over, like if you're a patron, you want to be a member, like Emma was a patron, she just swapped over, and now she's a member on YouTube, so now she gets the cute little icon.
I keep them both out there because I know people like Patreon.
Some people have preferences.
But honestly, I would almost rather everybody switch over, just for streamline's sake. But I won't, until there are 0 patrons, I won't.
Oh, yes, and I added little emotes.
So don't worry.
That Caroline just found. There's little cat emotes now. So,
we need to do. I want to cut out Baloney and Tom's faces and maybe our faces. That way we can have those in the chat as well.
Yeah, we have one of those in Discord. If you haven't been on Discord before, there's a Discord link in the description. But yeah, now there's cat emotes in there too, so you can add those. So I love the little meme cats, but anywho's.
They're giving, dude. These cats are giving. I love them.
They're giving. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to talk about. My book video is coming. I'm planning on filming my book video tomorrow. For my top picks of 2023. So
Charisse,
You should
welcome
see
to the
that
Terrestrial
soon.
Kingdom.
Charisse, welcome. And then this year we're making some content changes frequency wise. So
Yeah, we're planning on some other types of content. Should I
not
tease
straying
it
from our
just
usual,
a little bit here?
like not straying, my gosh, from what
From
we
our
usually do,
usual
but
stuff.
adding on something. McKeely Hall gifted a membership. Thank you.
Here's a little, is it going to change? A little sneak peek as to what we're going to offer. Let me find the right one. I was testing it out earlier.
So just a little sneaky
A little
peeky.
sneaky peeky.
We're
I
gonna
have a little setup.
at the end of
made-
today's video we'll talk about what we're actually doing.
Yeah. So if you want to stick around,
We're forcing you to wait till the end. I'm sorry.
you'll get to welcome Natasha into the Terrestrial Kingdom.
Natasha,
Welcome
thank
Devin
you.
to Terrestrial Kingdom.
This is a good opportunity to
Thank you for the gifted,
thank you for the
McKeely.
gifted.
Appreciate ya.
Gaming with McKay. I will say nothing more.
Not just McKay.
Well,
no,
me too. I'll be there.
Yes.
But you guys have been requesting this for a long time, and so we're finally making it happen.
We're making it happen.
I'm just saying that for right now. But this is a good opportunity to say that members and patrons, we appreciate you, your
Yes.
donations, especially each month, are what keep us going. If you do Patreon, like if you're a patron, the year restarts everything. So a lot of our like people who had supported us for the year, once that year is over, they boot you off. So like sometimes the reset date is January. So if you want to keep supporting us and you're on Patreon, make sure that you sign up.
I think I have it set so it's based on whenever
Okay.
they subscribed.
So
It'll auto.
an easy thing to do to help us continue to do this, and especially now since we're going to be, after we make our announcement, it's going to be more time during the week that we're spending with you. So if you feel inclined to pay $3 a month to support us, that will be lovely. And we
We'll
will
love
love
ya.
you and adore you so much. We love all of you, but it sincerely helps. The membership is what helps keep us able to do these things. So, and we've got other cool things that are coming up that like we really can't even talk about. So, you know, it's the lowest tier is $3 a month. You can do it on a monthly basis. You can pay for the entire year. You can do it however you want, but any way you do it, we appreciate you. And then of course you get exclusive content, and then everything is ad free if you become a member, so you don't have to watch any ads on any of the videos anymore. So yeah, I think that covers that. I think
we're covered. Yeah.
I think we're covered on that.
Grid gaming with McKay.
Grid gaming.
Grid gaming. Grid bless all of that stuff. Let me get my chat back up. Where are we, everybody?
So I figured today we would review a few things. We haven't talked since Jodi's trial date.
Sorry. No, you're good. I'm just flailing over here. I
Okay.
was like, where's my chat? And it was on the other screen. I just stupid.
Did I miss somebody who became a member? Devin Cutnaw became a member. Welcome
got
to the
Devin,
Terrestrial
don't
Kingdom. Okay. So we figured we haven't chatted since Jodi's court hearing date. We had talked about rubies. We're caught up on rubies. Pam has thoughts. Welcome to the Terrestrial
Pam
Kingdom.
has also joined the Terrestrial Kingdom. Thank you.
So
Don't worry, Lindsay. We're just getting started.
if you have questions about some of the legal stuff that's happening, we did a stream with Natalie Lawyer Chick. It's on our channel and hers. And she answered a bunch of our questions. Like, it was beautifully thorough and amazing. So go watch that, because getting to hear it from a defense attorney is like brilliant.
Yeah.
So sentencing day has not come up yet. Sentencing has not happened yet. That'll be February 20th. So we won't see how long either of them is spending in prison until next month. But you bet, obviously, we'll be doing a video and keeping you posted after that. Yes,
They're
we
in
love
jail,
Natalie.
Jordan.
They're in jail right now,
Better
but they're
not
going
say
to
that it's
prison. They're going to prison.
They're going to prison. They're in
They're currently
custody
in jail.
right
They're
now.
currently in purgatory. So
they're quite literally in
Literally in
purgatory right
purgatory.
now.
So they're both being sentenced on February 20th. I think they're right after each other. I think there's like a 30-minute gap between the two of them. So we will know about both of them that day. And I imagine we'll get more details like on... There's only one women's prison in Utah. I'm pretty sure.
I think they just closed down Draper.
They closed down Draper, but there's another one. I was talking to one of our mods about it. Hello from Australia. I appreciate everything you guys do. Guessing what? Thank you. Shannon Pens, welcome to the Trustful
I
Kingdom.
swear to God, if they do that god-awful statue where the penitentiary used to be, I will honestly love that for them. If they go through with that. It is the most disturbing.
Critters Creations,
stupid
welcome
thing
to the
I've ever
Trustful
seen.
Kingdom.
Got my gummy
We love
bears, my
you.
chips, dip, snacky cluster. Oh, snack clusters. Are those the
Are those the nerd ones?
nerd ones? Oh, I love
Those are
nerd
so
clusters, dude.
Those are so good. Is there an Outer Darkness level in Patreon?
Oh, there's one near the airport.
There is an Outer Darkness level in Patreon. If there is
Yeah,
a
they're the
Trillian
same.
Hell Satan. Yeah. All the levels on both are the same, so it's just your preference on whether you want to on YouTube or on Patreon.
Yeah.
Gypsy
But
Rose
you get the
crime
cool
happened in my backyard.
stuff.
Oh wow. That's getting a lot of attention
Yeah.
right now too. Maybe that's something we could talk about from a therapist perspective one time. That might be fun. That's where the new prison is, the replacement for the Draper one.
Oh, okay.
Bink, welcome to the Terrestrial Kingdom.
I guess I never saw anything out by the airport. I guess really it's been almost 2 years since we've lived close by Salt Lake City, so
Yeah.
all the ins and outs were kind of
Hi, Nikki.
on the back burner.
Snacky clusters are potato chips, corn chips, and pretzels in a bunch and covered in chocolate from Trader Joe's. Oh, wow.
Dude, we don't have
We
we
have one of
live
those
on the
over here.
far side where there's no Trader Joe's within like 30 minutes. So it's too much to go.
I watched a video about the new prison. There's been a lot of issues. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, so anyway, back on track. So I figured tonight we would talk about the outcome of Jodi's hearing to get you caught up if you haven't already. We're not going to spend too much time on it because her plea agreement is practically identical to Ruby's. So if you've watched our Ruby video, there is only very minor differences between the two of them. So we won't spend too much on that. I figured we would also look at Jodi's house, which is for sale.
Which is
Which is crazy. One
If
of
you
you
guys
sent me
haven't
the
already
link.
seen it.
We'll talk about that. There's been some... Welcome to
Welcome,
Outer
Ivana.
Darkness. Darkness.
Outer Darkness.
Outer Darkness.
Outer
Ivana.
Darkness.
Welcome. So I figured we'd talk about the house. We'll look at the photos of the house. Jodi's not living in it. It's for sale. She's not going to be there anymore. So I'm okay with talking about it
For at least 4 years.
for at least 4 years. Otherwise,
In which she will not be making any money. So
No.
don't think she can pay for it.
so that's why I'm okay with it because she's not going to be there. So we're not doxing anyone because she's not going back there. Nobody lives there now. It's fine. So we'll look at the photos of the house and it's crazy. And we'll talk about like some of the controversies that have come out about the house and things. Elizabeth Jimenez, thank you for your super chat. And then I also pulled up some other minor things that have happened. Some stuff with Shari that came up that was cute that I liked for her. And then an update from Chad that I found interesting that we can kind of talk about the implications of what this means like within Mormonism. And then there's also a funny video that I pulled up that I thought we would start with because I remember seeing this on the Connexions Instagram page when like we were covering them over this long period of unfortunate time and thinking like, this is so stupid. Why did they put this on here? These two look like so dumb. So I figured we'd start with that just to give us a little segue into
Yeah.
what we're going to be talking about today. And then we'll do our announcement at the end. Is
Yeah.
there anything I'm forgetting?
No, will you just send me the link for the first thing
Yes.
real quick?
Is there a way to transfer Patreon membership to YouTube or just got to cancel there and sign up here?
Yeah, just cancel there.
Just cancel there, sign up here is the
If
easiest way.
If you have a year-long subscription over at Patreon, message us and we can see if there's a way to do it like a prorated. Because honestly, I don't know. And then somebody else had asked if there was like what the take-home difference was between Patreon and YouTube. Honestly, I don't know, and I really don't care enough to look. This is more to give options to you guys.
Yeah.
So.
And Patreon just got like a overhaul, so it's a little nicer and more updated on there now. It's not as
still
like
kind of janky.
I mean,
I'm gonna talk shit. It's kind of janky still.
It is, but it's a little bit better. But you get access to the same things either way. The only thing that's different is you get the icons on YouTube when you're in chat, which a lot of people like. So. Okay, so McKay's going to pull up this new video here.
Oh my, OSHA violation. The fuck?
And you guys will, many of you will probably have seen this before because I think we reacted to this at least once. Honestly.
I've never seen this, honestly.
You haven't?
No.
Okay.
I'm almost positive I've never seen this.
This is on Jodi's property also.
Yes, that is, that's pretty obvious.
NORN Iron for you. Gifted 1 membership. Thank you.
I don't think we have audio. Hold on. Let me turn on loop back. Real quick.
And it went to Marky. We love that.
Gotta have the
audio.
The audio.
Hold
on. Let me make sure I don't.
Maura Jones, welcome to the Celestial Kingdom. Yeah, I pulled this from Reddit. That's where I saw it too. But I definitely remember watching this and thinking, what on earth is this?
This OS is not supported.
Wit, thanks for becoming a member.
Oh, shit. Is this the only thing we need to...
McKay's pulling up the video.
I've got it pulled up. Is this the only thing that we need audio for?
I
have to update it because I've updated to Sonoma.
Yes, this is the only thing we need audio for.
Okay. Can we loop back around to it?
I mean, you don't really need the audio.
Okay.
You don't really need the audio.
Honestly, it's probably just...
audio.
Screeching.
For our H3 peeps.
Audio.
So, sorry our audio is screwed up.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize that the this updated version of macOS is not supported.
But you'll get the picture. It's just the stupidness of it. Why?
It's giving David Dobrik.
It's giving David Dobrik. Ruby is like in hysterics. Like she's finds this so amusing.
I just love the double standard because can you imagine if her kids were doing that?
No, she would run them over with the thing.
Oh yeah, she would. Yeah.
But this is just weird behavior. Okay, like look at her face and look at Jodi.
Do you want the replay? Real quick?
Just look at Jodi's amusement. Why does Jodi have this? I don't know. What the hell does Jodi do?
It could also be a rental.
It could be a rental. I don't know what the frick she would need this for.
Landscaping. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't sound like she was doing a whole lot of landscaping.
Maybe she was.
So I just saw this and I was like, what? I don't understand. Yeah. Okay. Super chat from Destiny Salazar. Has it been confirmed that the door was locked only from the outside? There's been a lot of conjecture. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit since there has been a lot of like back and forth on things. I wanted to review what we know based on like the facts from the case and then now what we're seeing since we've seen the inside of Jodi's house. So yeah, I don't know what. Also today I saw a video from a woman and I don't know anything about her. Okay. She's probably a lovely individual. I saw that she's like a lawyer and
I beg to differ.
She has like a larger following on Instagram, but she posted a thing today where she was theorizing that Jodi and Ruby and Pam were having Pam, who if you remember was like the administrator person with Connexions, were supposed to have a threesome. Or like were having a threesome and they like wrote about like Ruby had written about it like in her journals or something. And I'm telling you, if that had actually come out, like if that was factual in any way, it would be all over the news because everybody wants to jump on there being something more going on between these two. Okay. And so, which who knows if there is or there isn't. And
or anyone in this situation, like we've seen right after things were going down.
Yeah.
I'm so salty tonight.
So she was saying, like, does anybody know anything about this? This is purely, like, speculation. So
oh my God. Could you imagine? That is just... It's so silly to go out there and be like, yeah, I think that these people were having sexual relations, the three of them. This is just my guess. Does anybody know about this? No, because this is your brainchild.
Well, like, how is that anything more than, like if you're a lawyer, I'm sorry, you have so much to add to this compared to, like,
I know,
us
and
who
that
aren't.
you're out here like, I think they're having a threesome.
Right.
Or they were
I'm
supposed
like,
to have a threesome or some shit.
Like,
Come
unless, and weird
Corny.
shit has happened in this case. Okay, so I don't rule out anything at this point, but I need receipts before I'm going to buy into anything. And
also, what does it matter? Especially at this point. It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to trial. It has nothing to do with you can be having a threesome with somebody and also be doing these awful crimes.
Right.
You can also not be doing that and also still be doing the crimes.
Right.
It's completely separate.
Right. And just a reminder that Miko's headphones just popped in. We don't speculate on
The
sexuality
blonde Mormon
here.
lawyer? Is she
Yes.
Mormon?
Yes.
Oh, that explains it.
Yes.
Don't hire her.
I believe.
Just kidding.
I think that's why we had a lot of people in common following.
A 6-hour documentary where the last name is mispronounced. The whole 6 hours, they couldn't figure it out.
Oh, that's so bad, y'all.
How do you produce 6 hours? Like, how much work goes into it, and not a single time do you figure out how to say the person's name? It's
That's
not even
bad.
like a hard name. It's a white people name.
But yeah, I mean, no disrespect to this woman. I don't know anything about her, but I saw it. I just came across that on my Instagram earlier, and I was like, what?
Full disrespect. That is just dumb. Sorry. That's silly.
I don't know. I'm trying to be nice here, but
I'm not.
So we don't speculate on sexuality in here. Does it matter? No. Does it really? Can we talk? And we have talked about that the behavior between them is highly affectionate and very weird. Okay,
Yeah.
so like we can observe like tapping into therapist language. Like we can notice and observe like they're really physically affectionate. And, like Jodi was always touching Ruby, and like we can notice those things without like an implication of like they're lesbians. Like we don't know, right? Like these are, as far as we know, straight women until we're told otherwise by themselves.
Yeah.
So if you want to speculate, the sub has allowed it now.
They allow it?
Passengers subreddit has allowed.
I can't believe they caved.
There's, I think, other reason for that.
So I don't have to explain it in the comments. And you've heard me say this a million times. The reason why we don't speculate is because A, it truly is not that important to the situation. And B, on this channel, we do not perpetuate right-wing culture war bullshit on queer folks perpetuating abuse against children. And we don't want anything to do with that. So,
because not everybody who speculates does that, but a lot of times that's where things
it can be used in that way.
And we don't want to contribute to that. Like, we don't want to contribute to the,
we don't do that on this channel.
They're, because people are shitty people, and so they're thinking like, I think the sub caved. I'm pretty sure they did a poll on it. And when I did the poll, I was like, okay. Which I respect anybody's opinion on if they would like to speculate or not in their free time. But when you have a platform like McKay and I do, like, we feel like it's important to bring that up, because it's right-wingers will very easily fall into the trap of like, well, of course, because groomers and gay people abuse their kids and gay people are predators, and like then we just easily fall into that trap, which we don't want to encourage. Is it a possibility? Sure. Anything's a freaking possibility. Could they be like, I can come up with 3 different million speculative things about their relationship in this, right? And we have like comments from Jesse that they made where they talked about how Jodi had made references to, if I was ever in like a same-sex relationship, it would be for the emotional connection, not the sexual. So like, I mean, we could even speculate just on that all day long. But what does it bring?
Yeah. There's also, and regardless of whether Jodi had that, part of her life, there's also another person involved who we don't know anything about on that subject.
Yeah.
And it kind of brings up the point, like, I think of how cults and high demand religions are able to keep people under the surface. They don't make big leaps like that. Like, I don't think Jodi and Ruby were involved long enough for her to have been able to be convinced on such a big issue within Mormonism like that. Because, like, if they make sudden movements or they go too far, that could be the schism that gets somebody out. They're like, no, I can't do that. So that's why they make these incremental, really small changes or manipulations.
And they were both very homophobic. Like, both of them were very openly homophobic and transphobic. And we also don't want to perpetuate the idea that everybody who's homophobic and transphobic is, like, secretly gay, because it harms the community and it's not true 100% of the time. So is there, like, internalized homophobia and transphobia for some people who are actually gay or part of the LGBTQ plus community? Sure, but that's not the case every time. So we don't want to perpetuate that idea that every person who is homophobic is secretly gay, because that's just not, that's also not helpful. So regardless, speculate all you want in your head, speculate personally, don't care. Like, that's your vibe, whatever, you do you. This is just how we operate here, because we have a lot of LGBTQ plus followers. I'm bisexual myself. Like, we like to maintain this as a safe space for our community. And while some people within the community don't care about speculation, and that's totally fair and fine, there are people who do. So we like to keep this a space that we just don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And so it's not an issue. So just, if you're new here, that's why. Amber McHugh, welcome to the Celestial Kingdom.
Welcome.
So that's kind of where we are with that. So
did we get Meredith? Welcome, Meredith.
Welcome, Meredith. Yeah.
Terrestrial Kingdom.
But that's kind of why we do it. And it does it, like, we don't want to detract from the actual issues at hand, right? Like, if, like, just, we're talking about the kids here. Like, the kids is what matters, and this is largely irrelevant. So yeah, let's talk about, we'll get to the panic room discussion, because that's been a whole thing. And I actually had somebody message us about it. That was, like, a weird message. And then, which is, like, whatever. But, and then, let's look at the document itself real quick. So let me send it to McKay. So we'll look at the plea agreement real quick, just so you guys can get caught up on what the plea agreement is. I will just touch on what the differences are. The details of, like, the abuse and the things that happened are basically identical between the two of them, except for one thing. I will briefly touch on that one thing, but I don't want to talk too much about it, because it is fairly graphic. So let me send this to McKay.
Amber, you said you can't figure out the Patreon cancel. I'm going to try and pull you up. That way I can deal with it after the stream.
Ezzy83, welcome to the Terrestrial Kingdom.
Let me pull this up first, though. Why is this mature content? Oh. I was like, what?
Yeah, and to Sage's point, a lot of the mods are also LGBTQ plus too. So keeping that in mind when we're, like, the mods that are helping regulate this discussion and remove comments that are appropriate are also part of the community. So it's like, keep that in mind, because they're seeing that bullshit too. And for a lot of us, it's not productive. So
why can't I get this any larger?
Courtney B, thank you. Okay, so McKay's going to pull up the document real quick so we can share it with you so you can get caught up.
All right.
So Jodi's plea agreement that she was offered is identical, basically almost completely, to Ruby's. So she pled guilty to counts 3, 5, and 6, which are all the aggravated child abuse charges. And then the other charges were dismissed by the state because of the plea agreement, as part of here's your, like, benefit for agreeing. So she pled guilty to those, and those hold we've determined that maximum consecutive sentencing, I think, is 30 years in Utah. So at max, they're going to spend 30 years based on the charges that they've been given. That's absolute maximum. The T Froggy 912, who's been here for a hot minute, welcome to the Terrestrial Kingdom. Let's see, Marshall Stred, welcome to Terrestrial Kingdom. So these are the same charges. Her and Ruby had the same charges and the same charges dismissed. So that is all identical. On the following page, if McKay will pull it up.
Sorry. I was getting the Patreon situation. I think this is the max I can zoom in.
That's fine.
Sorry, it's a little small, folks.
Go to the next page. I'm sorry. I had the wrong thing. Okay. So this is... Ruby had this as part of her plea agreement also, and we talked about this with Natalie if you want to break down every part of this plea agreement. But this part is like the facts that have been put forth by the state, and that because of the plea agreement, the defendants are agreeing to these facts in their entirety. Like these are the factual findings. Once they have signed the plea agreement, they are acknowledging that these things are the facts of the case and aren't going to be argued with, which I'll come back to in a second. The things that both of them did were basically the same for each of these charges, and we read them in the first video. So if you want to read all the details, it's in the first video. The only thing that's different is the final paragraph on this one, where it says, additionally, the defendant either physically forced or coerced the youngest child to jump into a cactus multiple times, which is disgusting and horrifying and horrible. And that was the only...
That goes without saying.
And that was the only difference that I noted in the fact findings of each case for Jodi versus Ruby, was the cactus thing was in Jodi's but wasn't in Ruby's. And so I don't know if that came out in the younger child's testimony and was specific to Jodi and not Ruby. It sounds like that's the case. But that was the only difference in the fact findings. Everything else in there is identical to Ruby's. And so if you want to hear the details, it is grotesque, and I'm not going to read them. But if you want to go back and watch the last video, we go over it in detail and read the entire thing.
Jordan has chapters on that, by the way, so
I do
you
have
can go and
chapters
find
on
this
that.
stuff a lot easier.
Yep. So you can go and look at that if you'd like. But that was the only difference. And then I'm trying to think. As far as the plea agreement went, she didn't have any, because Ruby's agreement agreed that she was going to testify against Jodi. There was no testifying within Jodi's. But she did. What was interesting is after the court hearing where we got all this information, she pled guilty. She didn't say anything in court. One of the reporters allegedly said that you could see like tears down her face when she was walking into the courtroom. Don't know if that's actually true or not. But what was interesting is Jodi's lawyer did like a little mini press conference after the hearing where he talked about how Jodi actually decided to plead guilty first before Ruby. And so this is what her lawyer is saying, okay? So that this is what Jodi wanted, and she like respected the kids enough, or was trying to prioritize the healing of the kids enough to plead guilty first, so that preventing the kids from having to testify in a trial, which so brave of you, which I think I posted
valiant
on Instagram at that point, like, you know, how do we avoid this whole thing altogether is you don't abuse the kids. So like, don't come at me now and say I'm trying to protect the kids from having to testify about the abuse that I caused.
Yeah,
like,
maybe you
really,
should have protected them from abuse.
Like, come on.
Oh,
come on. So I don't know if that's verifiable in any way. I don't know if that's true in any way, because Ruby's stuff all came first. So I don't know how true that is, if that's just kind of how like the cookie crumbled in relation to how like things got scheduled on the court docket. Like, I don't know if there's really truly any way to verify that other than her lawyer saying it in a press conference. So, which I don't really care. I don't really care that she decided pleading guilty would be for the betterment of the kids.
Yeah.
Because, anybody who's had to testify as a child in a case like this, it is extremely traumatizing. And it is extremely traumatizing for everyone involved. Because, I mean, even defense attorneys. Because defense attorneys have to cross-examine children. And most of them don't want to do that, okay? Like, it's not a pleasant position to be in for anybody involved.
Children do not belong in a criminal courtroom.
No,
period.
Absolutely not. And it happens a lot. And so I'm glad that that's going to be avoided because of this. The only thing, like, selfishly, I wanted to see the discovery.
Welcome, Tori.
Selfishly, I wanted to see the discovery. Like,
I guess
don't
you
want
got 3
the
months,
kids
sorry.
to testify. I didn't want the kids to have to testify.
No,
but I wanted
be
to
awful.
see the shit. And I think ultimately that's why both of them did decide to plead guilty for their own selfish reasons of, like, not being in prison for the rest of their lives and having to go to trial. But there is so much discovery that I think the lawyers immediately knew they were fucked. Like, just straight up and down. Like, you guys are totally screwed if this goes to trial. So you have basically one option.
Yeah.
So, and I really didn't know what Jodi was going to do. I could have easily seen her going either direction. I could have seen her lawyer saying, well, Ruby's admitted a lot of guilt, so let's use that to our advantage and take this to trial. And I could have easily seen that happening too, and we talked to Natalie about that a little bit.
Marissa, I think you hit the nail on the head. There's no way that Jodi is sorry. I do not believe for a single second that she is sorry for what she did. She's just sorry that they got caught.
Yep.
100%. And that's exactly why I believed that she was going to take it to trial, because she was like, I'm not going to jail for something that I'm doing that is wrong. Because this woman believes that God was directing her in her quote unquote therapeutic process.
Yeah.
That he was revealing to her what needed to be done in order to get these people to repent and to cast off their evil ways. We're talking about children here, by the way. So apparently coercing or forcing somebody to jump on a cactus is protecting them, but I don't know. I've never been protected that way, and I don't ever plan on protecting anyone that way. So yeah, the idea that she is sorry, abso-fucking-lutely not.
No.
And if Ruby is sorry, it's mostly because she was manipulated into doing that kind of shit. But
lots of people are asking
if
like what this means for Jodi being a therapist. Can felons be therapists? It depends on the state. So there are some states that if you have felonies on your record, you can still be a therapist.
I think she needs to worry about getting out of prison in time to have any time left in her life.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be the first hurdle.
She'd be retirement age by the time she got out, if is what I'm thinking.
Well, she's already 50. What?
She's already 50 something.
And if she did get the max stacked, whatever, she's gonna die in prison.
So it differs by state, but I know in Utah specifically, I'm pretty sure even with certain charges, you can still be a therapist. There's just a little bit of a different process. So like you have to, like the licensing board has to be aware. You have to meet with them. Sometimes it requires additional supervision. Sometimes so in theory, maybe with her conviction specifically, I don't know. But here's the deal. We already know that when she got in trouble for doing shitty things as a therapist, she just swapped to being a coach.
Yep.
So if anything, if she was really dumb, and I think she is, then she could just immediately go back to being a coach because it's completely unregulated and nobody's going to stop her.
Yeah.
Is she going to have any clientele? I think that's where she's going to run into a problem.
Yeah, I do not believe that even if she were to get out of prison tomorrow on whatever reason, she would not go back to therapy because she's already gotten her wrist slapped on that one.
Yeah.
And she basically swore it off. She took her practice and she rebranded it entirely to do coaching because she got burned one time for getting caught. So I don't think she would ever even try to again because it's the Wild West for coaching. And I'm not trying to dog on coaches because I know there's a lot of good coaches out there, but there is almost no regulation on that. No. So,
and I think, remember, because at the beginning of this, Jodi surrendered her license to the state of Utah. So she politely signed it over and said, okay, I'm done with therapy. I'm not practicing anymore. You can take it. Because otherwise, I think the state would have taken it from her. But it looks better in her case if she ever wanted to pursue being a therapist again, that she surrendered her license. And so as of this point, if she tried to do anything therapy related, she would be in deep shit. And I don't think she would try again at this point. I think coaching would be her avenue.
Does aggravated child abuse get an automatic
No.
excommunication? No.
I think it warrants a
They will
meeting.
probably hold
maybe a council.
a disciplinary council, a court of love, without her, and they will probably excommunicate her, I would imagine. I would imagine.
Could also do this without any public.
Yeah. And most of the times, if stuff like this happens, they just excommunicate him. They don't issue a statement.
No.
It was really rare when they issued a statement on
Chad
Daybell. Most of the time they don't, because it's not nearly as much to do with the person so much as it is to, quote unquote, protect the good name of the church. So making a big fuss about it is the exact opposite of that goal.
The uniqueness, I think, with Chad is Chad's case, even though even though Jodi and Ruby's case is making headlines, Chad's case was taking the world by storm. It was crazy news notoriety. And the other thing that I want to bring up is Chad had kind of fostered a little bit of a community that was starting to follow his teachings and the things that he was doing. And so I think the church had more of a reason to go after Chad because of the apostasy, because they wanted to send a message to all the people in his little group, Julie, who's also one of the little leaders in her group included, to say this isn't acceptable behavior if you're a member. So it kind of scares the members in the group to be okay, this isn't we're going to back off. And so it's more about sending a message to the people that are involved rather than disciplining Chad, for example.
Well, and there's also the potential of a backfire effect in that situation, where they send this message this guy was in apostasy. What the fuck are you guys doing? And they're already too deep, and they're like, no, the church is the one that's in apostasy and everything like that. So I don't know how that went down, really. I haven't really looked into that at all, but
y'all got to go on the H3 pod to break down the Mormon glaze any day. We'll talk about the Mormon glaze any day.
The Mormon.
So it is theoretically very possible that both of them have already been excommunicated, and we just don't know.
Now that they have pled guilty to these,
they could just do it.
They could just do it at any time. It's hard to find that out for certain because they have to be you have to be in their ward to see if the records were there or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any other way to obtain that kind of information, because it is still private.
Yeah.
Which I think it should be private, honestly. But I think it's safe to say that if they haven't yet, they're likely going to be excommunicated once they get sentenced.
For sure. And they, because part of the process with the excommunication is you have the court of love, where the big dick men who feel like they have a lot of power sit there and tell you everything that you've done wrong and why you're getting booted. And so that has to happen for excommunication proceedings. But since they're both in jail, they're not going to be able to attend. And so things can move a lot quicker.
Yeah. If they have that, they'll just do it without them.
Right.
And then they basically just run through their little agenda, and there's nobody there to respond, so they just go forward with however they want.
Exactly.
Yes, you can be recommunicated. You can be rebaptized. There is a process. I remember specifically one time when I was on my mission, the sister missionaries in my zone were teaching this guy, and the district leader below me went to go and interview the guy so he could be baptized. And in the baptismal worthiness questions that you have to answer in order to be able to be baptized by the missionaries, one of them is, have you ever committed a serious crime? And a guy confessed to having murdered somebody. And if you ever got a yes to that, you were supposed to wrap it up. You don't tell them in any certain terms that they can ever be baptized, because you don't know that. And then if they want to continue with the process, you have to meet with the mission president, who is over all the missionaries in that region. And he is able to spiritually determine whether they are repentant. I think he also has to determine whether they have like served their time or whatever. If they have
like restitution.
Yeah, you have to make restitution and things like that. So they could, if they cannot be in prison and be baptized. I
can't even begin to tell you, like, as a therapist who works with people who have gone on missions, the amount of mission trauma that people have from their mission experiences like that, where people are confessing murder to you, like the amount of trauma that missionaries experience on missions is like we could talk a whole video about that, because even some of his experiences, I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Pardon?
So that's like a whole thing in and of itself, just like a tangent there. But yes, they're also, you got to keep in mind that I'm sure with this women's prison that's in Utah, I'm sure there is a heavy amount of like Mormon services happening within that institution, I would bet. So I would bet they could still attend services if they wanted to. And
they can request materials be sent to them. I remember packing up a whole bunch of like packages with like reading materials and scriptures and things that were being sent to prisons, and they had to be packed a certain way because they would have to be opened and checked for contraband and everything like that. So
yes, they could. I mean, there's nothing in my mind that would stop them, even if they were excommunicated, if they wanted to attend like the church service that is probably being provided.
I don't even know what that would look like. I've never heard of anybody going to like the prison or anything. I've never really lived that close to a prison.
I am very curious on what the Mormon Church's involvement is with that prison particularly, because I know there's a lot of churches that get very involved with prisons, and can even do it in kind of like what I term an inappropriate way.
But like I said, I'm almost positive that if you are incarcerated, you are not allowed to be baptized until you're out.
Until you're out. It would make sense.
So if anybody else has had other experiences, drop it in the chat or comment if you're rewatch crew. While we were talking, Claudine, welcome to Terrestrial Kingdom. Also from Diamond Dave, just vibing, listening to the stream. Hope you guys are well.
Thank you.
Same vibing.
Yeah, and people who are in prison should have the opportunity to practice whatever religious or spiritual thing they want. And I wouldn't doubt that a majority of people in prison in Utah are of the LDS faith. And so I'm sure they have
Jack
like
Mormons
programs or involvement or things that do that. Let's see.
2 months, Bobby. Let's go.
Thank you. And then, so that sums up Jodi's situation. We won't see anything else court-wise regarding the two of them until February 20th when they're both sentenced. And so that kind of ends that. There's going to be no testifying. Ruby doesn't have to testify. Her plea agreement still stands.
Yeah.
And so that's the end of that. We won't see anything else till February. So let's move into talking about the house.
Will you send me that?
Yes.
Prixie, if I was kicked out, of a group, why would I want to rejoin though? That's the thing. Just because you get kicked out doesn't mean that you don't believe necessarily anymore.
It's true. Yeah.
And it is synonymous with a lot of people losing their faith because they get kicked out. But yeah. There are a lot of people who still believe despite not being allowed to be members anymore. For instance, another mission story, fucking A. Sorry. It sounds like Elders Quorum.
Watch your language.
For instance, there was a man in one of the wards that I was in when I was on my mission. He was formerly a bishop, and he had gotten excommunicated. I don't remember why. I feel like it had to do with tithe theft.
That'll do it.
Or possibly, and I might be getting stories mixed up, but there was somebody else in the area as well who had been in a leadership position and was excommunicated for sexual sins. Anyway, but he still attended church. He still wore a white undershirt, even though he wasn't allowed to wear garments, and was always supportive of his his family. Like, he was always there, and he had intentions on rejoining the church, but he was, like, still in the process. The mission president had to determine his eligibility for being rebaptized.
Fun fact. On that note, did you know that women can't count tithe money?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know? Did you know that women are not allowed to count the tithe money? Only the men are allowed to do it. But did you also know who steals tithe money all the fucking time? Men.
I know. Maybe they need to hand it over to the ladies.
Maybe the women would be better
once.
at counting the money. Like,
no, for fucking real. Tithe theft is so crazy, and unfortunately, it was also really bad in Central America, to the point where you would fill out this little slip, and there would be a carbon copy, a yellow carbon copy. And in Central America, there was 2 carbon copies, and you would hand in one, or you would hand in the 2 top ones with your tithe. You would keep the blue one, and then they would hold on to all the other carbon copies until the end of the year, and they would give you at tithing settlement, so you can settle it up even more.
Everybody is making a good point.
So.
Women can't count, so they couldn't be doing it.
Girls can't do the tithing because they can't fucking count.
No girl math in this church, that's for sure.
No girl math.
Girl
math would be fucking helping them.
Right?
Let's be real.
For real. But yeah, women can't do it. So I always thought that was funny.
Yeah. If they want to be the world domination church, they need a little girl math.
Indeed.
Although,
I am bad at math. I fulfill that stereotype.
Paying almost $200 million for a business park in Florida, that is girl math right there. Yeah. They're like, well, it's basically free because it's less than $200 million. So, yeah.
Just saying.
We're doing it.
Maybe we'll circle back to that at the end. Hero of Canton, welcome. Hour late, almost forgot. That's okay. You're still here.
Not welcome. 8 months.
8 months.
Woo woo. So that's what 8 months looks like, the little
yeah, there you go.
Symbol.
Pull up the link I just sent you. We're going to look at Jodi's house now. It's no longer Jodi's house. She doesn't live here, so this isn't doxing. This is just...
Technically, it is still Jodi's house.
It is still her house, but
she won't be living in it, and she's attempting to get somebody else to live in it. So
indeed. So this is in Ivan's.
Look
at
this shit.
It is on the market for $5.3 million, my friends. So let's look at this and I wanted to just gawk with all of you.
Right.
So yes, technically it is still her house, but for purposes of YouTube, we're not doxing anyone. Just putting that out there.
This is just a house that's for sale.
This is just a house that's for sale. So this is 10,000 square feet.
Oh, yeah. Let's look at the little sheet here.
Now, remember, Jodi was living in this house by herself, okay? For a hot minute, at least.
5 beds, 6 baths.
10,000 square feet. Can you freaking imagine, you guys? That is insane.
Cayenta. What the?
Is that the neighborhood?
I'm guessing.
I would
No
bet.
fucking shot. Is this really called that right there? Do you see that?
What?
Does that say what I think it says? Does that say hellhole?
Does that say hellhole? Are you for real?
No way.
Oh my god.
No way.
Right outside her house?
Hellhole. Is that what the mountains are called?
Well, a lot of those like southern mountains got weird names, like
yeah,
the Devil's.
But they are crazy.
Yeah, they are crazy.
Devil's Furnace in Arches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of like devil references in southern.
Literally lives in a hellhole.
That is
no
crazy.
doubt. That's funny. I'd never noticed that before.
I didn't either.
We've looked at the house before.
Yeah. Okay, so built in 2017, so it is fairly new. The Zestimate from Zillow is $5 million.
Look at this.
So.
Look at this, though. Look at this jump.
Oof.
Yeah. Besties, you're not getting 5 out of that. Let's be real.
She's got to pay attorney fees.
Yeah.
Yeah, for most of our lives, the spaces that we lived in were 1,000 square feet or less. So the fact that this single woman was living in a home
in 10 times bigger than anything we'd lived in.
10,000 square feet, that's crazy.
Shit.
Perfect name. Lived at hellhole and went to purgatory. Just vibing in outer darkness. That is
right.
Spot on. So let's kind of go through these pictures a little bit. I'm that person that likes to like look in rich people's windows as you drive by their house because I'm nosy like that. So I like to look in people's houses.
Who do you think is looking in your window? It's me.
It's me, and I'm nosy. But here's
We're
the
nosy.
thing that I want to bring to everybody's attention also as we go through this. Ruby was living life of luxury in this home. No fucking wonder she wanted to be down in St. George compared. And their house is nice. Don't get me wrong. Like the house that they have, like her and Kevin have, is a big house, and it's really nice. But no wonder she wanted to be down here. No wonder.
What in the Amityville horror haunts this place? That's what I want.
Also, no gate around the pool when you have children living in the home. Children under 10 living in the home.
This clearly is not built for children living in the home.
No, absolutely
very
not.
obvious. It's giving Utah jazz.
Yeah.
It's giving John Huntsman.
Yeah.
It's giving, I don't know, a lot.
Yeah.
Not
Okay, so
OSHA approved.
let's go through. Wow.
There it
look
is.
At that.
It's sunset.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, you guys. This is a beautiful home.
Yeah.
It looks
It's
like
a goddamn compound.
So if you look at, I don't know which house ended up being the one that
Probably one of these.
R ran to, but it's a decent distance away.
Yeah. And to be barefoot and through the scrub.
And through the scrub where there's probably, cacti and,
Goat heads.
yeah,
Shit like that. Is that what they're called?
I think so.
Goat
That's what we
heads?
called them.
That's what I call them.
Okay, so this is like the front door-ish. Like what? That's a fountain, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
So this is that gate right here, and this is going out toward the street.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little courtyard
Okay.
almost. Fountain. Look at that,
whole
gigantic
thing is a door.
door.
Holy shit! Oh my
Gigantic
god!
door.
Is that an automatic door? I wonder.
I
feel
no,
like that
I
would
don't
be
think
heavy.
so. I think they're designed different. It doesn't swing from the edge. It swings from a spot right here.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of, I don't know. You think they would, if you're spending that kind of money and it's hard to open?
I mean, just look at this front
No.
entryway. Like shit. Like you're already in the house, and it's like, oh my god. TV outside.
If you got the TV outside, you've made it.
You've made it.
Is this the exterior shot of that?
I think so.
Yeah.
So that's
there's
the front.
stairs outside.
This is the back then, or is this the front?
No, this is that courtyard still.
Oh, okay. This is so weird.
I need to get like a little. We need to see if we can find like a
Look at
little
this kitchen.
floor plan map.
This is beautiful. The the backsplash.
The craziest range you've ever seen in your life.
Is that the fridge?
The built-in fridge.
The built-in fridge. Is living in excess not distortion? It's a good point.
Yeah, this is gluttony.
This is gluttony indeed.
Come on.
For one person.
Yeah, and I think this is just a mud room or like
With
a
another
side bar.
Fridge.
Maybe even a pantry.
Okay, so this
And
is
then a
like the
living
living
room.
room. Look at the windows, man. I mean, Florida ceiling windows, I would have them too if that was my view. Honestly.
Right? And like on a property where with windows that big, you can still walk naked freely. Because
That's true.
your neighbors can't make you out at that distance.
I mean, just look at that. That's beautiful. I mean, very open.
Yeah. Crazy. And really nice built-ins.
Yeah, really nice
I
built-ins.
have an
Look at
uncle
that
who
fireplace.
I have an uncle who used to I don't know if he still doesn't, but he would do built-ins like this. And they are
Not cheap.
they're pricey. They're craftsmen, a work of love.
Like, look at that fireplace, man.
That fireplace is stupid. I'm calling it like it is. Fireplaces like that are dumb.
I mean, I
Useless.
agree. If I'm going to have a fireplace that big, then it's going to be smaller than like a teeny tiny rectangle.
People, they don't have
I am
curtains because you like
rectangular.
almost can't see. Nobody can see into your home.
Unless they're like a
Yeah,
creeper.
unless they're on your property. At that point, we don't call 911 in this house. Kind of.
What is this? Is this her office?
This
then
has
I
to be
wonder?
an office.
Oh, laundry room. That is a
The
laundry.
big old
Holy
laundry machines. We have hand-me-down ones that we got
we
for
do.
free.
We're looking at Jodi's $5.3 million home.
I know.
More cabinets. What is that?
What? That is like networking shit.
Like for like tech stuff?
Yeah, like you run all your...
Oh, electronic curtains. Maybe you couldn't see.
Are there electronic curtains?
Maybe built-ins
I guess they could be.
that come down automatically.
Oh,
My mom used to work for
right
a
there.
really expensive window shade company that
Yeah,
the
probably
automatic
that.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some right there. Yeah, that's
Oh
probably
my
what they are.
God.
Probably Hunter Douglas.
Probably.
They probably got the amount of Hunter Douglas shades in their house that are equal to how much our house is worth.
Yeah, for real.
Not the purple bed.
Yeah, so this is the
Girl.
bedroom that's on the main floor. So I assume this would be Jodi's room. I mean, that whole wall is not even a wall, it's a window.
The whole thing is a window.
Yeah, I'm curious if they...
Yeah, there's the blinds right there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm curious if they staged this, or is this her actual, like, bedding? I'm very curious, because purple is definitely a choice.
I don't know what's worse. It's like...
Is that another fireplace?
Is this her furniture and stuff? Because this is, like, the emptiest house I've ever seen. Or are they that bad at staging?
I mean, it's got... Because if they... I don't think they staged it, because I think there would be a lot more shit in it. I think they added some flowers and shit, but this has double doors. I mean, look at this bathroom. Dude, why was Jodi so pressed all the time? She was living in the lap of luxury. Like, look at that bathtub. Like, you're straight out. Like, if you walked by, you could see Jodi nude, like, probably at any point in time because of how... Oh, my God, look at the shower.
You can look outside at any moment when you're bathing, no matter where you're bathing.
No matter where you are. That shower, though, that's killer.
This is giving me anxiety. I would not know how to operate this
Why
shower.
are there so many handles? Why are there so many handles?
These are jets, these little round guys.
But the little pulley things?
I think those are to operate the different ones.
So is there like multiple shower heads? That's a romantic shower. I mean, nobody wants to walk by and see Jodi nude, that's for sure. Look at this closet. This is like
ensuite laundry.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? You can turn it into a steam. Oh.
Is that what it is?
Go all the way to the door, go all the way to the top, probably.
Oh.
I can't tell.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the shower door?
Yeah.
Dang. That's
cool.
That is cool. No,
Ensuite laundry.
That's not the shower door, I don't think.
Oh, maybe not. So that's the closet then?
Yeah, something. Anyway.
Ensuite laundry. I wouldn't even know what to do. I
would still not get it
Our
done.
laundry room is outside of our bedroom door, and we still suck at it. But having it inside our room would be, like, magnificent. AC bill must be outrageous. Yeah, that's for sure. She has so many built-ins. Like,
yeah.
Like, we all
They're
saw
all
what
matchy.
Jodi was wearing. That's a closet for, like, a Kardashian, right?
Yeah. And she's just, like, putting her sweatshirts up and her maxi skirts. She's not filling out even half of that. Why does she need such a big closet?
So this is a guest bedroom then. Is that a door or just a window? That looks like a door.
It's just a window, I think.
To outside.
Oh, it could be.
Because it's split.
Yeah, it could be a door. Oh, there's a sidewalk out.
Oh, so it is a door.
It's a door.
Oh, that's weird.
Gotta get to the pool somehow. Another nice bathroom.
With another nice closet.
And the guest walk-in is bigger than our closet.
Oh my God. Okay, so where are we now? We're not in the basement yet.
This is another living room or
another living room with another kitchen.
Another kitchen for the sister wife.
For the sister wife. Now this is a house that maybe Cody could have kept the wives together in.
Yeah, Cody, come on. Goofy.
Yeah, Tom is meowing. He's right here.
I don't know why he's upset. He's got food.
He's fine. He's just
sidebar real quick. This guy, he thinks as soon as I wake up, it's time for him to eat. Even when I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning because Kazoo is like, "Let's get up. Hello." He's like, "Yep, it's time to feed me." No, dumbass, because you are going to be yelling at me by noon, and you're still going to have like 5 hours to go from noon if I feed you at 4:30. So
I wish you guys could see. Tom is just sitting there sniffing my microphone. Okay, so this is another living room, another kitchen. Janelle would probably still be in the RV in the garage. You're probably not wrong. Oh my God, it's so funny. And it's also not. Okay, so another living room, another kitchen. This is still on the main level.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, because
that's ground level.
Yeah, you're right. So this is... Why do you need so many? Like, how many people are you having in your house? Okay, so we've got
just
other outside entrance.
See,
okay,
now
so this
there's
is
the downstairs.
Okay,
and there's the courtyard too.
So all that's window?
Yeah, that whole thing is window.
Oh my gosh.
Holy Nikes.
This is a mother-in-law apartment. Okay. That's how they're advertising that one.
Oh, okay.
More built-in laundry.
Built in.
So are we in the basement now?
I think so.
That bedding right there. Okay, go back to that bed. That is not staged bedding, you guys.
Yeah, no way.
This is Jodi bedding right here. This is like shitty guest bedroom bedding. So this is not staged.
That smells. I can tell that smells musty. like it's been on that bed for years.
And the pillows, like
just unused.
No stager worth their salt would leave the bed looking like this. I'm sorry.
Well, she can't exactly afford to spare any expense.
Maybe.
At this point.
Oh my God.
Why did OUR make a movie? Because they followed Disney's example. Sorry, my right brain is taking over. I don't know what that means. Sorry.
OUR made a movie because they're nonstop after the money.
Because
and Tim has a
Tim
God
Allen
complex.
is a megalomaniac.
Okay, so another bedroom, another bathroom. Holiday Inn bedding.
Oh,
That's
damn.
funny. So still nice.
Scathing.
A door directly to outside still.
Now
okay.
this is the basement.
Now this is the basement. Okay. Okay, kitchen again.
It's giving.
How many fucking kitchens do you need?
I know, right?
Okay, so remember we were theorizing that Jodi and Ruby had to be filming in Jodi's house. Remember? Because we were going back and forth when they started filming in that giant room. And we were like, man, like either they rented out a space or this is Jodi's like house. And it is in fact her house. This is the back view of where they were filming.
Let's see if you can see the couch.
Right there.
There's the couch they were filming on right there.
So now we know for sure
Look
that
how
they were filming.
empty it is. So I guess it makes sense if this was like what they're calling the mother-in-law, because it was like an entirely separate part of the house they were never really needing to go into.
Yeah, that's exactly where they were filming. So they had just put a table in the middle.
Yeah.
And those two weird rugs right there. That doesn't...
I wonder how these cabinets work. I wonder if they just swing out. What if they pulled out? That'd be sweet. Like sliding out like library stacks or something.
Shit.
That'd be cool. A big built-in desk thing. I always hated these. I feel like almost every nice Utah home has like a built-in desk in like a common space. Don't you?
Yeah. Which is stupid
like,
because it doesn't get used.
I know a whole bunch of people that had that. And maybe, I don't know, maybe this is Utah culture because it was always the admonition of the church leadership to have the computer in a public space to avoid temptations on the computer.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It could be a Utah thing. I don't know. Is that a rich people thing in other places? I don't know. I wonder if their Britney Spears microphones came at the house.
This is a sister wives house. I'm telling you guys, like the kitchen problems that Mary and Janelle and Christine were having would have been long gone with a house like this. There would be no kitchen issues.
Because you don't want the porn demons sucking out the lust energies.
Indeed.
Yeah, or getting in your head.
Definitely.
Or you are a glutton for punishment and you like a challenge.
Indeed. Okay, so
Yeah,
another bedroom.
Who would pay? I'm
This is
sorry. If
giving-
you have these kinds of bedding on your bed, I apologize, but this is not matching the house. I have no idea why she would pay cash money for this
Cash
shit.
money. These are all really expensive beds, though, you guys. Like, these, like, sleigh beds. That ain't cheap.
Big boys.
I hate the, like, stall type thing
I
going
know.
on with the toilet.
It feels like
it feels
you're
like
in
a
a
public
barn.
bathroom. I was going to say public bathroom, but barn works. These showers, though, I'll give her that. These are nice showers.
Love the tile work.
5K house with Walmart shit on the beds. Yeah, it's just not making any sense. And no art on the walls. Like, no stager would be taking photos without art. Is that a fridge in a closet?
I don't
Oh,
think
no,
that's
this
supposed
is
to
food
be
storage.
there. Oh my god!
This is food storage. I bet. Yes.
I
this
bet
is
you're
food
right.
storage.
I thought they was just in there because they didn't have anywhere else to put it, but I bet you're
No,
right.
I bet you guys this is a food storage room. This is like a rich person, like a rich Mormon's food storage room.
Yeah, usually it's in like the unfinished
Basement.
quadrant of the basement.
Like your parents.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go in there.
Oh yeah, my parents have like it's completely unfinished and
But your
it's
parents
just
is
in
really
the back.
nice. It's a whole room though.
Yeah, they put a lot of stuff in there.
You guys, this is food storage.
It's a lot of storage.
Okay, so another room,
Another closet, a big empty room.
a big empty room.
That's
God,
probably
this could be like a fucking dance studio.
it's probably supposed to be a theater room.
Oh, that's not a
If
very
I
big
were
TV for a
to,
theater
I
room.
know, because she's a goofball.
She doesn't watch TV. Is this like the attic looking thing?
That's under the stairs.
That's under the
storage.
stairs, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's happening here? Now that we're under the main level of the house, we start to get into the weirder stuff. Some of the stuff that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm not understanding
happening
why is there
here?
a door and then
Is that an
it's-
open?
That's or it's a mirror,
That's
but
the Harry
I think
Potter room.
it's I think it's open.
Okay, so then
And
there's.
then this is like a mudroom thing.
Oh, this is.
I'm pretty sure
I was thinking
where
like
you would,
dog
like-
washing. That's what
Oh,
came
it
to mind.
could. I guess it could work like that, but
But then you'd get it all over the floor.
yeah, you would.
That doesn't seem
I feel like
very-
maybe it's connected to. Oh, this is the garage.
Oh, this is the garage. Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
So this probably goes to the mother-in-law, quote unquote.
Oh, so you have two separate.
Yeah. So this is a
entrances.
mudroom thing, so you can wash off your boots.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All the red dust.
Gigantic garage.
Okay. So that goes down one versus the other. Is that like a tool
Yeah.
thing?
That's the nicest like workbench I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
it is. Jodi would have it. Okay, so this is a really big garage. Damn, who is like skidding that much in the garage? Look at the skid marks, dude. God, I know both of them have a speeding problem, but
3-car garage.
what
Oh,
is this?
this is down the stairs. Down the stairs from.
Like further down into the house?
I think this is right below the garage.
What the hell is Jodi fixing on that workbench?
See-
That's a good question.
Yeah, see, it goes down there, and I think that's these stairs
Oh,
right here. So I'm pretty sure this is under the garage.
so this is under the garage. So this is just like the weird bunker
Didn't
thing.
Didn't they say there was a room under the garage
There is a room in, yeah, they said
in
that
the police
call. Yeah,
audio?
which we'll talk about.
I definitely do not think this would protect you from any sort of blast.
No, if that was the intent, that just doesn't seem
Yeah, it is completely open to the elements above.
like what would she are those stairs
I think it's
carpeted?
just unfinished. No, I don't think so because they're coming off the garage. I think this is just unfinished area.
Is this just an unfinished?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we get into the weird stuff. That's the safe door, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
So where is that in relation to where we are now?
Yeah, where's this bathroom?
Yeah, so this is the vault door that people were referring
Is
to
that
as
the
the
door?
panic room, as to whether or not there was actually a panic room, which we'll get to in a second. But I'm wondering, where does that come off? Because now we're in a bathroom in a finished area of the house.
Is that the same room?
No.
No, because that's a
No,
painted
'cause
floor.
The floor looks different. People are saying keep going.
Keep going, okay.
Okay, so here's the safe door that everybody's talking about.
But that's not... Is that the other side of this one? Could be.
Maybe.
I think it is.
Okay.
Oh, and a fold down. You don't see that anymore.
You don't see those anymore, really. The bathroom is part of the panic room. So the safe door
this is like a...
goes into the... like a weird... So is this all part of the safe door then?
Is that a Murphy bed? Does Murphy make beds?
Her panic room has a microwave.
The microwave.
The toilet is next to... Okay, so let's just look at this photo for a moment.
She should have been living in here.
The toilet is next to the sink.
In preparation.
Next to the microwave, next to the fridge. So we've got a toilet in the kitchen.
I think this is all in that...
What the hell is this, bro? I am so confused by the layout of this house.
The Murphy bed and bathroom are in the panic room. Okay.
So they're in that safe room area. Look at the toilet paper roll. Wait, go back. Bro, what the hell?
Who tears it like that?
I'm telling you, no stager would have allowed this to happen.
It is giving back rooms. Why is the panic room on the other side of the house and 2 floors below the main floor? It wasn't a panic room. It was a prison room.
Yeah, who the hell? Like, I'm still confused by the layout.
I don't know, though, because I don't think...
Okay, so there's the safe door.
I don't think there is any way that you could... Because you can't get locked in these things, because that would be, obviously, a safety issue. So there's got to be a handle on the other side or something like that.
Now,
but obviously you could block it.
Block it, or if it was up high, if the kids couldn't reach it.
I think it has to be down low, because doors like these, they're designed... Like, you see gun safes and stuff from similar companies. They all have, like, a fail-safe or some way to get out of them so you can't get locked inside.
Because that's just a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah. Rich, and then the outdoor built-in grill and shit.
Don't worry, we'll come back to the panic room.
Yeah.
Nice little hot tub jacuzzi thing. Why are we at the Abby Lee dance coming out? Julia, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Like, why are we in a dance studio at this point?
Yeah, where the hell did she have that tractor? What was she... Oh, there's a slide. I didn't notice that one. Big pool. Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi? And we don't even have a jacuzzi?
Can you believe it?
Can you believe it? Okay, maybe this will give us something.
Aerial photos. What are we looking for?
No, I need a layout like the, hand drawn by the builder.
I didn't see one the first time I looked at this. I don't remember if there were 157 photos that time. Well, here's the garage. Kind of in that area. I don't know. Let's go forward.
Let's see if there's any of those, and then if not, we'll go back to the panic room and look at it again. So that's the driveway.
There are 2 separate garages then. Because in the other one, there's a 2-car wide garage door and then a single one. And this is 2 single-car garages.
Oh, I remember
there are 2
this.
garages.
So AKA the cat lady brings up a good point. Jodi built the house. She designed it and got the safe room by saying she had a stalker. So if she was designing the house, I mean, she could put whatever the hell she wanted in there. But I do remember when the whole
a 3 and a 2
licensing situation was going on, she was saying that there was like problems because she had a stalker. So
okay, now I see it. There's a 3-car garage and the 2-car garage. So that all should have been off of this one, I think.
So each garage has a basement underneath it. Yeah, that driveway view was pretty icky.
I feel like that other one was over here, and then there was just the unfinished bits under this stuff.
Safe room was after the original build. I mean, yeah, if she just kept adding. Okay. She has an outdoor bar. Wet bar.
Wet
Get Mary
bar.
up in here.
A wet bar. Oh, and there's direct access to a basement level. I don't know what
Which
it
one?
would be.
Oh, well, there's the outside view of the stairs leading down. God, I mean, okay, so roll with this with me for a second. If you had a stalker, would you want to be in a home where you have windows in literally every room of your house?
It
like you're
doesn't make any
constantly
sense.
exposed?
It's so weird.
So she felt like she had to have the safe room because she couldn't be in her upstairs area then? Okay, go back to the panic room.
Okay, I was just putting it on us for a second. I feel like we'll go back. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out I don't understand why there's no floor plan. If anybody's able to find a floor plan to
Clyde,
this house,
welcome to the Celestial Kingdom.
throw it in the chat.
Kathleen
Throw a link in.
Moncrief gifted 5 memberships. Thank you.
Thank you for get it.
Let's see if there's anything in the description. Yeah, there are electric blinds.
Oh yeah, here they are. You can see them right here. Boop, boop.
Main floor boasts 12 to 15 feet ceiling, ceramic flooring, gourmet kitchen with top-of-the-line Wolf, Bosch, and Sub-Zero appliances. The kitchen has a gas stovetop, double ovens, 1 convention, 1 steam convection oven, and a farmhouse stainless steel sink. Let's see. She has a butterfly dryer. I don't know what that means. Does anybody know what that means?
A butterfly driver.
Fully serviced casita. Oh my God, we are in Sister Wives.
Casita.
Fully
So
serviced
it's not
casita.
it's not even a mother-in-law. It's a casita.
The fully serviced casita and guest suite is perfect for guests with private entries and luxurious amenities. Lower level is perfect for entertaining. Full-size gourmet kitchen, media theater room, and family room.
I was right on the theater room.
Yeah. Other notable features of the stunning property include a concrete storage room under the garage.
Okay, so that's this one right here.
A 5-car garage with built-in cabinetry and a pet wash. So it is a pet wash. She's never talked about having animals. Has she?
No.
The Frankie's had a dog for a while.
Okay, so these are 2 different ones. So this is one garage and this is the other garage because they're on separate kind of wings of the house.
Additional custom features will be revealed only at your private showing. And then I saw there was a Reddit post. I don't know if this is verified or not, but there was a Reddit post where somebody went to look at the house and...
Oh, yeah, it was their sister or their aunt or something like that.
And they had said during the tour that they had the house cleansed by like a spiritual person. So they probably got a bishop to come over and like bless the house.
I was going to say... You think these people, are there any in the widest county on the well, they said they had smudged too.
Oh, smudged, yeah.
But
which like probably cultural appropriation maybe going on.
White people version of smudging.
And that they had said that there was, I think the words that they had used was domestic abuse in the house, but the lawyer wouldn't elaborate on what that meant. So I thought that was interesting. So this is that storage room. So they had the house cleansed, which honestly, if you're trying to sell this house, that's the way to do it. So remember the controversy. Okay, so travel with me back in time. Remember where we had all this controversy around whether or not there was actually a panic room and whether or not that was audio, because the only reference that we had to the panic room was the police phone call. Remember the police call that was happening where the police were going back and forth talking about what was going on. And so at one point, it was thought that the panic room was audio that was picked up related to another case that was being discussed on the same like police audio line.
Yeah.
Because, and we had no way of confirming whether or not that was true because 1, we didn't have photos inside Jodi's house. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, the only reference to the panic room or the safe room or the room under the garage was on that police phone call because on the probable cause affidavit, there was no mention of this room. Okay. Like it talked about, I can't remember exactly where, but it was like one of them was found, like E was found in the bathroom, I believe. And then R had escaped obviously through one of the patios, which at this point it could have been any of the freaking patios because there's so many doors outside. But there was no reference to safe or panic room in the probable cause affidavit. And if you remember, we have prided ourselves on trying to be responsible with our reporting with this and not like, and being very aware of like, this was discussed on police audio, but then this wasn't followed up in the probable cause affidavit. And so we didn't have anything substantial to be like, yes, we're for certain. And so we had put that on a shelf as like this is unverifiable and we're not going to know. And so we truly don't know still, because just because there is a panic room and there is something under the garage doesn't mean that either of them were found there.
Or
Since
held
there
there.
is a bathroom in the panic room, is that the bathroom that they were talking about? It's possible, but there's also how many other freaking bathrooms in this house?
Yeah.
So, like, I get people who were like diehard about the panic room or like feeling really vindicated because there is in fact a panic room. And I'm like, yeah, cool.
But it
there's
doesn't
a panic
really
room now.
mean anything.
But what does that
necessarily.
mean?
I know. It's where Jodi should have gone when she realized
that the police were coming
that she
for
couldn't
her.
find him.
Right? So like people are upset and some people are feeling like, oh my God, like people were so adamant that there wasn't a panic room.
Y'all
And it's
owe
like,
me an apology.
we're just trying to quell misinformation as much as possible. And so when there wasn't any validation of the panic room and any other thing, because think about the police handling of when they found Pam, when they found the two older girls at Pam's house, like the amount of misinformation that came out on that police phone call. They were talking about how like at one point the police officer thought the daughters were Pam's, and that was on the police audio. Okay, so police audio is not the most reliable because they're going into the situation completely blind and trying to figure out what the hell is happening. Okay, and we don't have any ability to go, like, when police are on one, what's the term for it? Channel, when they're on one specific channel and there's multiple of them talking about multiple different things and talking to dispatch, like it's hard to decipher what applies to what. So it's not the most reliable source of information. So we were looking for any other thing that would have come out that would have validated that. And now we have that there's a panic room, but does that mean that's where the kids were found? We don't know.
Bring your mic closer.
So I know people are upset about it, but like, I don't know what to tell you other than like, there is a panic room now. If they were in there, we don't know. Would it be like a really shitty place to put them because this looks like really sketchy and gross? Yeah, well, absolutely.
And it's designed so that you can go inside it and lock people out. I don't think it would be very effective to keep somebody in.
Unless
there was some sort of modification or whatever.
Well, and we have to think about the fear. Like, if the fear of them getting, like, she could have locked them in there without the door actually being locked because they were too afraid to come out because they knew what would happen.
Could.
So she could have been doing like this inappropriate locking them places dynamic without a safe door.
Yeah.
You know, is it worse? For sure. Like, if they were locked in here, this is even more horrifying. But again, I don't have anything that says like, yes, they were in the panic room. So, could they have been? Sure. Yeah. Does it change things too much?
Yeah.
I don't really know that it does.
Unfortunately, unless there's some sort of body cam footage or whatever, there's not going to be any trial to discuss these kinds of things.
Right, and
so
that's why
inevitably it doesn't really matter.
Someone says you could lock them in. It's an electronic locking system.
Do we know that, though?
I don't know. That's the thing is, like, even though now we know that there's this weird concept that she has happening here, like, we don't know. And what was the purpose of it? Like, if she truly had the stalker, is this where she was locking herself in when she was afraid of the stalker? Unless
they put something in front of the door, I would not ever put a panic room in my house where I'm going in and locking the door where it could ever possibly lock me inside without any way to get out.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody who is installing these kinds of things would ever do that either, because that is liability, huge liability issue for companies like this. So I don't believe that there is like any native to that doorway for them to lock anybody inside.
Somebody said, is the stalker in the room with us right now?
Right.
Yeah, for real. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I get that people are like, oh, I was right, there's a fucking panic room. Like, and okay, but the rest of us were not. We weren't like trying to be obnoxious and be like, you're wrong. We're just holding off because we want to make sure that we're reporting accurate information as much as possible. Because this situation is the situation I would much rather have. I would much rather have more information come out and we're like, oh, yes, like there is a panic room versus we're reporting that there is one when there isn't. Okay, so this is much rather the situation that I would have. And Tom is being very loud right now, so I'm sorry. So, yeah, I don't know what.
He's yelling.
If the kids were locked in here, I mean, it could also just be a fear tactic. Like, you know,
It's Tommy.
Jodi and Ruby, I think, were terrifying enough to these kids that they could have put them in any room and it would have been terrifying. But to know that you were behind, like, potentially a locked, like, their perception of a locked safe door, like, that's horrifying. Like, that's additional trauma for these poor kids. So, and I mean, this house was big enough that, I mean, if any of the kids were yelling or trying to make noise, I mean, if they were on, like, the other side of the freaking house, there's a good chance that they wouldn't have even heard them.
Yeah.
Given the size of the home. Yeah, and, like, that's the other thing is I'm like, some people are way too happy about there being a panic room. Like, I take no pleasure in the fact that there is a panic room, you guys. But some people are, like, so excited about it. And I'm just like, what does this do? If this is the case and the kids were truly locked in there, there's more trauma for the kids. This is horrifying. Like, these kids are going to have just even more trauma to work through and process through if they feel like they were trapped in this room with a safe door on it. Like, why are we happy about this? I'm not happy about this. Yeah. And it's not because like we were wrong thing. It's just that I don't want this to have been a thing.
I mostly don't want to believe that they could be locked inside because that is like the most terrifying thing.
For real.
It's a Liberty door, can't open from the inside. I thought that was reached on a stream on Hidden True Crime.
Because of the type of the door?
I don't know. I feel like they would not agree to open it or install it if there was any way for somebody to get locked inside with no way out.
I mean, it feels like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's why I say that, because I don't know that there's any amount of paperwork that would allow you to not be held liable for somebody getting stuck and then something bad.
People are saying smudges
inside.
on the cabinets. Where are you guys talking about? I don't see smudges. On these cabinets?
Hold on, let me change it over. Oops.
Tom has a lot to say on this, apparently.
Tom's got opinions.
Tom is freaking my cat out. I'm sorry, you guys.
I wish they had just shown the back of the door.
Yeah. For real.
Then you would know.
Oh, are you talking about that? I mean, our cabinets look like that.
Yeah. These are not at kid level, though.
No, but they could get on the counter.
That's true. But
I mean, again, my point stands, like, no stager worth their salt would post pictures like these with this visible on the cabinets. And I don't know what necessarily that could mean. I mean, if Jodi was truly cruel and she was keeping the kids in here, she knows the kids could climb up on those cabinets and get in the cabinets. So there would be nothing that she would keep in there that the kids could, that would be helpful for them, in my opinion. The toilet paper roll, though, is just bizarre. And like, I don't get, if you have a stalker, like, I get having like a room, like, while you call the police and wait for the police to arrive so you know you're safe in the room. But how long are you planning on staying in here? Like, is the stalker, like, making himself at home in your house at this point? So you've got the toilet and the fridge, and, like, is she preparing for, like, a SWAT standoff? So she has to be in there for a while they get the stalker out? Like, I don't get it.
And then she didn't even use it that way.
Well, that's what what is the... I'm just trying to think about why this would be helpful for a stalker. Like, I could see having, like, a room that you can lock yourself in for a little bit. But then beyond that, like, how, like, your stalker might as well be, like, living there if you're going to be down here. Like, why do you need a toilet and a fridge? Like, Jesus Christ, how long does it take the police to get to your house? Like, I don't get it.
like
Could be prepper related, maybe.
Yeah. Like I understand that there's like bank vaults that you need like a convolute, like a screwdriver to get out of it. But this, I mean, the commercial products and consumer products are usually kind of a whole different thing. You don't expect a child to get stuck in a bank vault. That's so. I won't say for sure. I just cannot wrap my mind around anybody installing any way that if you needed tools to get out, I don't think anybody would put that in a home where people are going to be living. That's just my opinion. And if anybody would install something like that where you can't easily get out, that is just really poor practice.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's giving the
maybe that's what she wanted. I don't know. It seems like, also think about the intention of the panic room, because I don't think she made this knowing that she was going to abuse children.
No,
like I don't think she would have created this for that purpose. I think this was
fucking freak
convenient at the time, and who knows? I mean, if the kids were in trouble and she was locking them up, would it be a convenient place to put them? Maybe, but also like. We also have to keep in mind in one of the affidavits it talked about how they were tying the kids to themselves at some point so that they could keep an eye on them at all times. And so there's just so much here, and just be wary of people who are like thrilled about the fact that there's a panic room. Like, I'm sorry, just that's bizarre to me. Like I take no joy in having to scroll through these and seeing that safe door.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of other rooms in this house that she could have created to be unsafe or scary, or like Jodi and Ruby were scary enough that I don't think they needed something like that, but that would definitely add insult to injury.
I initially thought it was a gun safe, but this is undeniably like this is the room that corresponds
behind that door
to this hold on, sorry, you guys can't see that. Like this room, that is definitely a vault door right there, and this is that same room with the fold down bed and everything. So I mean, there's no denying that at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, oops. So, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what the hell a butterfly dryer is?
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. That was just in the listing description. I don't know if that means it's like, is that the like inside, like ensuite? Like, is it because it's like in the wall?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know. Miko's headphones
Why make it look like a bake vault? I can't imagine that went through proper licensing to be built. I don't know.
Utah people, we got like the prepper mentality going on, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a more common thing than people would.
But they had a professional builder do it, and they would get in a lot of trouble if they had done something like that.
For sure.
It would have to go through. This isn't something that got added on like after the house was built. This was built with that intention in mind.
She also has an HOA, so I wonder if she had to get this approved through the HOA or if she didn't tell them about it. Because she does have an HOA.
But the surrounding houses kind of look similar, so I don't think it was like completely custom. I feel like it was a builder. Hold on, let's look at the neighborhood real quick. Yeah, the houses surrounding it have similar. So I think it was custom in that she bought the property from the builder, and then they went through the design process, and those were additions that she had on there.
Jodi does not have a husband. Jodi's been single since the 90s.
Yeah.
So she was living in this by herself. Like, I can't imagine. Like, it's totally okay to want to live by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
In such a big house.
But I can't imagine living by yourself in such a big home. Like, was this part of, like, her Connexions thing? And so, like, she was housing people more often prior to Ruby? Like, because she's getting all these women away from their husbands. Right? Like, that's my thought, maybe, is like because she's taking all these women away from their husbands, and so these women have to have a place to go.
They do probably have aesthetic requirements.
So, Jerry Elkins, yay, finally get to see you two live. Thank you.
What up?
We appreciate you. big rooms for seminars or retreats. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, you know, the space that she's probably using for, you know, meetings or connection classes or...
Cayenta. Oh, they have a specific design aesthetic.
Yeah, and we don't know how into prepper stuff Jodi was too. Like maybe she had...
Yeah.
Maybe
She did have that big, what we think is for food storage room.
So maybe she had more plans. I mean, a butterfly dryer tumbles in a figure 8 pattern to prevent bundling and wrinkling, allegedly a smart tech feature. Wow. Okay.
That's wild. So how long are Juby going away for?
Max 30 years.
Minimum 4 at this point, which I highly doubt they will get the minimum.
Oh yeah, this is a giving cult compound. You could easily run a cult out of here. Like you could like, you got enough space, enough beds, enough kitchens. Like, but I'm telling you, this is ideal sister wife setup. Where was this for Cody? Damn it. You'd lock Mary in the panic room.
Malcontent. Would Jodi be considered a cult leader?
We actually did a video on Connexions.
Yeah. She ticks a lot of boxes in all honesty. It would just be a really, really small group. The problem with the term cult is that it is very nebulous. There's not really a definition that you could apply to very liberally and have it meet for a lot of groups that you would consider to be cults. But there are a lot of boxes that she ticks on, like the high demand cult checklists.
Well, and if you think about what would be interesting now to do is go back to our Connexions video that we did and watch that video.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of aspects that we left off the table because we thought they weren't doing it. So like,
yeah,
you know, withholding food.
Yep. There's a whole bunch more boxes that we could now tick.
That we could now check. And so maybe that would be an interesting thing to do, is to redo the Connexions video.
The only problem is the group necessarily weren't experiencing that. It was just the small few who, in this case, were children.
As far as we know.
Or one-on-one.
Well, because we have Jesse.
Counseling.
That she did that to Jesse also.
Yeah. And other people, so.
Thank you for those of you who laughed at my Mary joke. Cody would lock Mary in the panic room, I firmly believe.
Yeah.
I love Mary. I'm a Mary fan, okay? I stan all the wives except Robin, so know that it's no hate. I just know that Cody is a prick. So, yeah, I'm interested. We might be able to, like, if we could pull the floor plans from the city or something. I wonder.
OG3 forever. For real.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough abuse going on here just in general for the panic room, in my mind, to not make that much of a difference. Because if these kids felt emotionally or physically unsafe at all, like they very likely did, like the panic room would have just added to the already unsafe and emotional instability that was happening there. And so, you know, like I said, be wary of people who are like super stoked about the panic room, because I truly don't know how much of a difference it makes other than just acknowledging the fact that, yes, this is just even worse.
Candace says they're on the assessor's website.
Oh, okay.
We'll pull it up later. We have to move on.
So yeah, there's
or
that.
else we'll talk about this forever.
There's the house. This is like, I don't know if she's going to get $5.3 million for it, but the post that I read on Reddit said that there have been a bunch of offers on her home already.
Well, it's a lucrative home,
allegedly.
Honestly.
So, I mean, it is a really nice home. If you're okay and can get over what was going on in it and all the stuff we don't know.
I cannot imagine people paying $5 for this.
The Zillow estimate was $5 million solid, and it's being sold for 5.3.
But did you see how the Zestimate jumped up in just like the last?
The true comparison would be what's selling in the area, like what has recently sold.
I think it's a couple million over what is recently sold.
Because she's got lawyer fees to pay, y'all. Remember, she picked a kick-ass lawyer, and so he's not going to come cheap. But I don't think her lawyer is going to cost $5 million. And so she's going to be left over with quite a bit of money.
Yeah. Because... let's see. I mean, just the variance in here just makes no sense.
The real estate agent
on the
does have to disclose it, I think, to some degree, because somebody that was looking at the house said that they were able to talk to an attorney.
I mean, does it say when it was built? Because this definitely did not cost $200,000 ever.
Weird sister wives coincidence. My mom's name is Robin and her boyfriend's name is Cody. Luckily not nearly as toxic and awful as Robin and Cody Brown. Bonnie, that's funny. I'm glad they're not as toxic. That's good.
Okay. So this was likely why it jumped. So okay, so she built it. This was just the property value. And then she ended up building it, and that's probably when it jumped up. But from here to there, like, it was 3 in November, and then it's listed, and now it's 5.
I mean, it is a seller's market right now. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's.
I just don't.
Oh, here's some nearby homes. They're in the 3s and 1.5s.
So she might not get that much.
Yeah, I don't think she's.
But look at the difference though. That's 4,000 square feet, 4,000 square feet, 3,000 square feet.
Ah, that's fair.
So given how much she's potentially added to the home square footage wise, I wouldn't doubt like the casita and like the idea of a mother-in-law suite, like that goes a long way.
That's a good point.
So I don't know.
Bike scores a 9, walk scores a 3.
Well, yeah, because they're out in the middle of freaking nowhere. Yeah. And I don't like Southern Utah vibes. Like, I'm not a fan of like red mountain, red dirt. That's just not my vibe. But
I don't know. The mountain views are pretty awesome.
It is nice.
It's out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
A rich doomsday prepper
desert.
Could see.
Yeah.
A dude with some sister wives could see. Cody wishes he had money.
It's definitely not the kind of place that needs to have a pool. No. The water situation is not very good for having a pool.
But most people in Southern Utah have pools.
Yeah.
It's like Arizona. Like it's way too hot
They're
to be out there
old,
in the
rich,
summer.
and retired there, so.
Yeah.
Gotta have the pool.
Like the Chokey from Matilda. So yeah, so that's the house. I guess we'll see. It's still listed as for sale. So I guess we'll keep you updated and see if it ever, like, when it sells, potentially. I don't think we're going to get much other information on it. I guess we'll be able to see how much it sells for.
Dude, that would be, like, awful, but also hilarious if a rich family vlogger.
Oh, my God.
That would be so fucking.
Can you imagine?
The cycle continues. The only disclosure explicitly required by Utah's law is that sellers tell prospects whether there has been contamination due to use, storage, or manufacture of methamphetamines. Only meth?
That's interesting.
Thank you, Shani, for the Utah code.
That up. Yeah. I mean, it would make sense.
Crazy Pieces. I don't think Crazy Pieces could.
They don't have that much money.
They don't have money like that. I don't think.
I mean, maybe they do.
I don't know.
It's been a while since I've watched anything from them. Who'd want to buy that house? I don't know. Like, even if I was like a rich person who could afford that house, it's just too much. Like, I don't like, unless you're like having people over all the time. Like, I don't even see how you would fill that space. And like, maybe her parents lived with her at one point or something, or I don't know. Maybe that's the original. Like, it's a weird concept. It's a weird concept.
If that happens, I'm throwing my phone in the ocean.
No more internet.
Seriously.
Maybe it'll
especially with so many young kids. Do not buy Austin. A fucking house.
Maybe
like that
Austin McBroom will buy it. He wants to get away. He wants to get out. He'll buy it. He's controversial.
I don't think he has money like that though.
Maybe not.
If he can't even afford to pay people for his events, then I don't think he has. I don't think he has $5 million to throw out on a house.
Couples retreat. That's an
especially
interesting
now
theory.
that they're divorcing.
That's a really interesting theory, Kara.
Couples retreat? What?
Like it, because she was doing, like, if she's doing couples work, then she can house multiple couples in.
Big.
Like, as a therapist, I would never do therapy out of my home. Like, I'm sorry. It would never happen.
Yeah, that sounds, I don't know. Sounds inappropriate. Like, but honestly, I see.
It's just not
necessity sometimes.
Like, you just want to have solid boundaries, right? And, you know, I don't feel this way about any of my clients, but people are, you know, if I ever had like a crazy person that was like out to stalk me because of our channel or something, and then they knew where we lived, like, it's scary. So for a couples retreat type situation, that is a good point, because she could house multiple couples and then be doing like couples work in like the larger rooms. And she has no boundaries, as we know. And so this would be like, most therapists who do retreats will like use an Airbnb or like find somewhere in the mountains, or like, you know, so doing it in your own home is like something I wouldn't do.
Yeah. The LAN parties.
So that is an interesting
never had
theory.
A LAN party or anything.
That's a really interesting theory.
That's why Utah law needs to be changed. Yeah. Could the house be foreclosed? I mean, if it was on the market for long enough and she couldn't make payments, then probably. But
I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, if they've got offers, if someone's willing to pay $5 million for this home, then, you know,
let them do
I'm
it.
here for it. But, you know, whatever. Yeah. I'm anti Airbnb, but TBH, you as a business strategy, I would Airbnb because, yeah, I am also anti Airbnb. It sucks because, like, Airbnb can be very convenient and everything, but
an adult production company, now that would be a genius buy. That would be a genius buy.
That would be genius. But yeah, I would never purchase a property to be made into an Airbnb, and people who do that, I don't feel bad when things go south for them.
Yes, I can show you my sweatshirt. Yeah, adult industry, like, this would be perfect. I mean, you could be simultaneously be filming multiple scenes, and you've got the beautiful background, and it looks rich. Like, oh my God, brilliant.
Yeah. Will you send me the links for the other two? Let's do those real quick.
This is my Crescent City shirt.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten.
For all my Sarah J. Maas people out there.
They have it valued at $2.5 million. Yeah, I'm sure they'll get a pretty penny over it for. Honestly, if they're making extra money on it just because of this situation, that makes me want to move to another planet.
Great house for entertaining, though. That is fair.
We should go to because he knows the names.
Okay.
You could fill The Bachelor or something.
Yeah, for real.
Problematic reality show.
Thank you. I got my sweatshirt from Etsy.
Prison for rich criminals. I think they already have that.
Okay, I texted you the link. They should film Provo's most eligible there. Could you imagine?
Oh my God. Season 3, let's go!
Could you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Let's go, Season 3.
I mean, if you knew nothing about the case, like if you were just a rich person wanting to buy a home in southern Utah, I mean, it would probably make sense that you could just get over it. Like, it doesn't matter to you. You're not as invested as everybody else who lives here.
Right. All right. We love to see it.
So this was also came up on while we were gone. Sherry Frankie got a kitty. And his or her name, I'm not sure.
W.
Is Muppet, which is really cute and adorable. Citrine98, welcome to the Terrestrial Kingdom. And so we love that for her. Apparently, somebody in the Reddit sub also posted that it's an emotional support animal. I don't know if that's like...
Let's go.
That's what Sherry said. So that's even greater. We love that.
We love the kitties. I hate the name Muppet, though, because anytime I think Muppet, I think, Clarkson, you absolute Muppet.
I just love...
James May.
I just love the kitties. So I'm happy for her. It's nice to have.
Shout out Kitty Gang.
Yeah.
Kitty Gang.
We're Kitty Gang all up over here. Tom's laying over on the floor now. I think Muppet's a cute name, but anywho, so I love that for her. Any kind of support that you can get when you're going through something as intense as this, like, good for her. We don't know the status of whether or not she has the children. I assume she doesn't, but that's my personal assumption.
Yeah. I would hope that she doesn't, so she can go to school. But yeah. I also think that Mr. Worldwide is kind of trash. So
yeah, And
ESAs
then
make it easier to get housing, though. Legally, you can't be forced to pay pet deposits and be denied a rental as long as you have
Speaking
a
of
therapist,
kitties.
psychiatrist. Oh, okay, that's a good point. Because if she lives in campus housing, they likely wouldn't allow it, or any of that. Because
I think
BYU,
she has
you
an
have to live
apartment,
in,
though.
but it has to be an approved.
Oh, that's true.
Housing, and a lot of them don't allow pets. I mean, anecdotal. I didn't even go to the same school, but I went to a BYU school, and as far as single people housing, there was almost no place that you could go where you could have an animal like a dog or a cat. And ESA was also like really, they were dragging their feet all the time on it. It was just, and most of those places are just not built to have, especially a dog. A cat is a different different situation because you can have you don't have to go outside necessarily.
Can you see that?
Baloney.
Hi, kitty.
Go ahead, rip this one up. We're probably going to change things up. Jordan is going to get a different desk, and I think we're going to bring that desk down here. So we're probably going to be sitting at a desk again. But then we were like, what do we do in the background? And I saw a video online where somebody got a mattress box spring, and they like tore the fabric out of the inside, and then they made it like a cat tree. I was like, that would be so cool to have like
For the cats.
a cat tree thing in the back of an old we could make it cool too. I would want to actually put work in it so it looks nice, and then put the prayer hands like above it or something like that. That would be cool.
I agree.
So you can see the kitties.
So we were
if they
thinking
would
about
like
that.
it, because these dumbasses don't use the cat tree that they already have. But if we make it interesting enough, maybe.
Oh, we love them. Okay, I sent you the other link.
Coral snake tail.
He's very cute.
Oh, is that what you call that?
Oh, other people are saying they saw that TikTok.
Yes, I want to try it so bad. And that way,
Thank you for the love on my otter.
it's like
sweater.
upcycling. Nice, cool little thing. I want to get a bowl, one of those little bowls.
Like the one at the vet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that if they could like it.
Okay. Pull up the other link I sent you.
Yeah, my brain is still loading. Hold on. I'm getting there. Okay, here we go.
So this was a post that I also saw in the sub. This is from Chad's Instagram. He tagged the San Juan Central Temple, and then he said, so grateful for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the temples they build. Felt very blessed to enter. So I had some questions in my DMs about this. So there's a few different things that could be happening here. Since Chad has not gone on a mission, it's likely that he hasn't gone through the temple yet and done the temple ceremony, right? The one with the weird outfits, which means he wouldn't be wearing garments. And so,
Also, why was he in Puerto Rico?
I don't know.
That's wild.
Just traveling with friends, I assume. But he can still go in the temple and do baptisms for the dead. So he's saying that he felt blessed to enter. So he either has gone through the temple for some reason,
Which I doubt.
So my theory is that he just went in with friends to do baptisms for the dead, because you can do baptisms without being endowed. And so that's my guess for what they did.
Oh, maybe it was like a senior trip. I don't know. It's not really the time of year for a senior trip.
No, and I don't know why, because like, and he's just vibing with friends. So like, you do you, bro. And people were like,
that is kind of crazy to solo travel to San Juan at such a young age.
well, he
and
doesn't
not
really
speak
have
Spanish.
parents
Yeah,
right now, truly.
but
that
he
are
doesn't even
involved.
speak Spanish.
I mean, you're just being nitpicky.
Probably.
Because you speak Spanish.
I'm a hater.
You're a hater. So if he wants to get endowed, usually you get endowed because you're going on a mission. So we have a video on the endowment. You have to meet requirements.
Also, welcome, Brandy.
Welcome, Brandy.
To
You have to meet a certain number of requirements, interview with your bishop, and then you make an appointment to go to the temple. Somebody goes with you. Usually your family goes, and then you go and do all these really weird rituals, and then you get your Mormon underwear. So it's a longer process, but men usually only go through the temple when they're getting ready to go on a mission. women usually only go if they're going on a mission or getting married, but it's becoming more common that women don't need to do either of those things to go through the temple. I went through the temple without getting married and without going on a mission because I just wanted to. That's much more common for women than it is for men. So either he's been like considering going on a mission, is going on a mission maybe, or none of those things are happening and he's just doing baptisms.
Debbie said, I have heard that every Utah Mormon lawyers had the second anointing. Non-Mormons cannot win a case unless super smart. I
hope that's not true.
I hope that's not true, and I do not think that is true.
That would be a lot of second anointings. Remember, that's a very privileged
it's a privileged thing at this point.
And that's invite only.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the deal is with Chad there, but people in the sub were like, why are they like involved in Mormonism? And I'm like, y'all, like think about what Mormonism does to keep you in and the manipulative tactics and things. Like I don't blame Shari or Chad for relying on this solid institution to get them through a really difficult time. Like, am I a fan of Mormonism? No. Do I think it causes an insane amount of harm? Yes, absolutely. But do I understand why these two are absolutely leaning into Mormonism, maybe now more than they ever have? Makes perfect sense. I did the same thing. When I was going through trauma, like with my mom, if you've seen my Mormon Stories interview, like I leaned into Mormonism hard. Because it was that solidifying, safe space. Feels like I have purpose.
It's what you knew.
Like I leaned into Mormonism really, really hard. And lots of people do that when they're going through shit. Like when people have tragedy and go through difficult times, like it's almost ironic. It's like either people tend to stray or they go deeper and deeper in. And I was the person that dove deeper when I was really struggling. And especially if it's your parents and you feel alone. Like I was losing my mom. And so like as a teenager, and so I can relate to these kids in a lot of ways. And I leaned in hard because there was like church was my community and there were adults in there who cared for me and were appreciative of me. And so I can easily see why these two are where they are right now. And they're on their journey, and it's not our job to push them one way or another. Do I want them to be in Mormonism selfishly?
No.
No, I don't. Of course I don't. But if this is what's helping them right now and it's helping them emotionally right now, then, I mean, who am I to hate on that? You know, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
You only know what you know.
Prixie brings up a good point. From their perspective, it was Jodi and not Mormonism, which is completely true.
For sure.
Because there are aspects that overlap with what Jodi was doing and Mormonism, but if you can pin the negative aspects on just Jodi, which are the worst and most different from Mormonism, then you can likely keep on in the religion.
Yeah. And I mean, they're not going to get judgment for me. I selfishly want them to leave because I want for them what
Hero of Canton. Thank you for the gifted 10.
Thank you, Hero of Canton. Good to see you again.
Doing too much as usual.
But I'm a firm believer. I mean, not just Mormonism, but if we have a therapist moment here for a minute, like there's a lot of research around how faith is very good for people's mental health. Like any kind of religious faith or spiritual belief is good for people's mental health. And we've seen it in research, and we've seen it with grief also. And so it's like, even from a scientific perspective, it makes sense. And so I'm not going to hate on people for, you know, being with where they're at in the process.
Yeah.
Especially these two. And they're also still very young. Like they're both very young.
Yeah. I don't know. And situations like these, difficult situations like these, can often lead to questioning later on down the line.
Yep.
Because the wound is still fresh now. And, you know, things are still moving quickly and abruptly. So there hasn't been time really. Once the dust settles more, there might be a clear picture for them to see. Or they might put that behind them altogether and continue in what they were doing. So honestly, we're not the kind of people who are out here like, we need to go after them. We need to, like, you know, kind of show them that it's better. And this is kind of a byproduct of Mormonism.
Well, and somebody
Like, I believe it is, but
Jane just said, imagine how hard it would be to deconstruct while going through all this. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like
difficult.
pick your poison. Like, what trauma are you going to deal with right now? Like, I can't imagine deconstructing your entire belief system on top of all of this. Like, that's a lot. like especially for as young as they are, that's so much to deal with. So letting them take it one step at a time and rely on what they need, like,
Yeah.
that's, I'm not going to be any less critical of Mormonism, but I understand why people use it.
Well, and when I was a teenager and I essentially was resolute on not being in the church anymore, and I still ended up serving a mission and whatever, because I felt kind of beholden to giving it a fair shake or whatever. And I did dive all the way into it, and I was like fully committed, and it just wasn't enough to keep me around.
Yeah.
It didn't give me the legs to stick around. So
when everybody's on their journey, and I think even like if we have an introspective moment, I think those of you that have been with us for a long time have even seen our kind of opinions and processing and things transform as we've left Mormonism. I'm much less angry than I was when we initially left. I think there's always going to be some
angry.
feminine rage that still resides in me over a lot of the Mormonism things, but it's not the way it used to be. And I don't think it changes necessarily anything that we do. I think you see maybe some less emotional intensity from us than you might have seen in the very beginning. But I'm much more, it's a difficult kind of position for us to straddle sometimes, because I honor people's right to their own choices and, like, as a therapist perspective, like, self-determination. And at the same time, we still want to point out power imbalances and hypocritical structures and what's going on behind closed doors in Mormonism. And so it's like an interesting position to be in. And I value and appreciate how people get through their shit when it comes up, and I can understand why people flock to Mormonism, and I understand why it's beneficial for a lot of people. But this is the practice of life, right? Is holding two truths at the same time, even if they are conflicting. Like, I can hold that at the same time and also know that Mormonism is really damaging, and it doesn't take away any of the things that Mormonism perpetuates, like, the super homophobic and transphobic stuff. And Chad seems to be in his, like, alpha dude phase, which is where he's at right now. And
disappointing, but obviously,
I mean, think about who he was raised by. I mean,
we're not yet.
He's got to get some time to, like, develop his brain, right? Like, we're dealing with not developed brains
and
here.
Especially in this situation, there's also the layer of the parasocial relationship
totally
that we don't need to be getting into,
for sure. And they're kids. They don't have a fully developed prefrontal cortex, right? Like, what is it now? They say 25, I think, is the age when that's fully developed. So they're still developing their critical thinking skills. They're still making and moving their way in the world. I'm going to be way more critical of, like, boomer Mormons who have been in this for a while and are, like, very staunch and dedicated, and they're like, the gays. Like, I'm going to be much more critical of those Mormons versus, like, Chad and Shari.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I hold more space. We're dealing with underdeveloped brains, and trauma for these two.
Yeah. And you just don't want the back. I would really hate to be involved in a backfire situation where,
for sure,
you try to help, and intentions are good, but sometimes in our personal lives, that's where we have landed. Like, I am not out here every chance I get with my family members trying to poke holes in the church, because I know for a fact that would not help them come out of the church.
For sure. We don't do it at all.
Yeah. And I'm okay with them doing what they want. And honestly, I hope that the church becomes a better place for them, despite there not being any. The church was built for people like my family.
Yeah.
Like, we're all white, everybody's straight, everything like that.
As far as we know.
Yeah. So there's really not going to be any pain points for them, and trying to create the pain points just kind of, it will have a backfire effect. Yeah.
Well, and if you think about who our channel appeals to, like, we don't appeal to, like, a lot of times we don't even appeal to Mormons who have, like, recently, who are, like, in their process of leaving. Like, a lot of times we appeal more to people who have been left and who have left and have been out for a while. And, you know, like, I would say shit, probably over half of our audience is not Mormon and has no.
Oh, yeah. Well over half, I would say.
No, like, we don't appeal, like, we're not necessarily trying to appeal to Mormons. Like, people know what we do, and people avoid us for that reason. Like, you know, like, it is
what it is.
We learned we got brought up in a marketing meeting at a Mormon company the other day.
Yeah, from my cousin who works there.
From her, McKay's poor cousin who works there. And so, like, we're on the table within Mormonism still, which is, like, very bizarre to think about that they're examining, like, our channel when they're doing marketing things. But, like, they know we're not appealing to Mormons. Like, Mormons aren't going to look at our channel and be like,
Yeah.
Like, that's John, in my opinion, is way more in that space than we are. John is much more of the transitionary period of,
and
like,
even still, they paint him to be the fucking devil.
Oh, yeah. And they paint him out to be bad. But that's, like, my opinion is John is more of, like, a transition space for people who are thinking about leaving, versus I think we appeal much more to people who have left and want to be, like, validated and vindicated and, you know. And so that's just kind of, I think, where we land. I think we're a little bit more direct and blunt. And we're very critical of you know, influencers in this space, and that doesn't always, I mean, even with my work, that doesn't always make me popular. So
Jehovah's Witnesses, yeah, I feel bad for anybody who has to be exposed to anything like that. There's, like,
J-dubs and Mormons are very similar.
Also, what the hell is going on? What is it with northern New York, upstate New York, and cults? Like, I learned the other day that there was a lot of JW activity in Brooklyn. For a long time, they had like a couple different buildings that people were living in, and they got kind of run out of there, and they went upstate to New York, where Mormonism was born, and that also the Falun Gong are based in upstate New York. Like, what is the deal with upstate New York and cults?
It is like the era of,
I know, of
cults right now.
I expect Scientology to be moving from Clearwater up to fucking Rochester.
Well, don't they have something? Does Scientology have something in New York?
Probably not upstate, because they like it to be in the high. Is Nexium in upstate New York too?
Ballard Psychic brought us up.
It's where Nexium was super popular too? Oh my god.
Wait, Ballard Psychic brought us up? Is that the dude? Okay, so there was this one
I
dude.
think that was a joke.
I think it was while we were gone. Did we bring that up? That dude who said that we looked cuter now? Or that we looked cuter then?
Oh
my gosh, so there was...
the guy talking to the psychic.
So there was this Mormon dude who has a YouTube channel who was talking about... who was talking to the psychic who's besties with Ballard, right? With Tim Ballard, who, like, talks to Nephi and whatnot. And so he had brought us up for whatever reason, because I guess that's just what you do. And he brought us up and, like, totally insulted us and was like, they used to be, like, so much cuter when they were Mormon. And I was like, well, that was, like, you know, like 60 pounds ago, and I have a 3-year-old now. But
and
okay,
and in
thank
our
you.
Very done up fucking wedding photos, by the way.
Right. It's like where I'm, like, heavily makeup and perfect hair, neither of which was done by me. And he was, like, practically malnourished from coming home from his mission. And so it's like,
we are a threat, dude.
Hello, but I mean, I wasn't offended. I thought it was quite funny, actually.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I thought it was really funny.
I was like, okay, buddy, that's the best you could get. Like, the best kind of criticism you can offer me is that I used to look skinny. Okay.
But I totally, like, I feel like it's been growth for me personally, which is, like, it's funny because he brings this up, because I am at a much healthier point with my presence online, where I don't feel like I have to do, like, full face of makeup and wear a bra and, like, be perfectly done up to, like, stream to you guys, where I used to feel that way. Like, I used to do full face every stream if you look back on our old streams, and I definitely don't do that anymore. And it's not like a laziness thing. Like, it is partially because I'm exhausted all the time, but I did not used to be able to get on here and talk to you guys. Like, if you look back at our videos, I would only do that in patron videos, where only you guys were seeing it. And so now I'm much more comfortable doing that. And I think it's people are like, oh my God, like, you know, apparently it's not cute, but I don't care. So that's just like me and in my feminism journey but apparently the Mormons are offended by it. And apparently we used to be cuter. So
Chad's lawyer resigned today.
Oh, I heard about that.
That's not a good sign for you, buddy.
So I think that's growth.
You're going to jail.
That's growth on my part, even though he says that. And I think it's kind of funny that they brought it up. But if she brought us up, that's hilarious too. I don't know. We're always in the Mormons' mouths for some reason. Like, we're one of like the lower key channels. Like, we don't have as many subscribers as like John or anything, but like somehow we always get brought up.
I know.
On the inside, like we're always being brought up.
Dude, I think we need to start getting back on TikTok and doing shit. I'm seeing too many Mormon live streams on TikTok.
Oh my gosh,
we need to get back
Mormon
in there
live streams
and
all the time.
Be annoying again.
Yeah, like
we just can't stay up until like 3 a.m.
like we used to do. Yeah, like
seriously, we would put our kid to bed and we'd get on live and we would be up until like 3 a.m.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was the time. I mean, that was how we met Sage, one of our mods, our mod that's been with us for the longest.
Sage's been around for forever, dude.
Yeah.
And some of you homies will
you disrespected the Garmies, that sets them off. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be it every time.
Oh my God, I forgot to bring this up. Some dude, I've been called a lot of things in my life.
Oh no.
But some dude was like, you Nazis would disrespect the garments of Jesus himself in the comments. I was like, are you kidding me?
I don't read comments.
Number one, how do you think that I am a Nazi? Buddy, they would have kicked my ass out or worse.
I tell you guys, we get the most unhinged comments
let me tell you.
Of all time on our channel. That's why I don't read the comments, because they're often offensive and they're not productive. And so if you're a YouTuber, like Jen and I from Funny Fridays have had similar conversations where you just have to sometimes disengage from that, because people just say things that you're just like, what? Like, I mean, I think it was much worse when we were on TikTok. I mean, we got like, you guys deserve to die and all kinds of shit when we were on TikTok. That happens less now.
How do we know what underwear Jesus wore? I mean, it's what the church requires everybody. So, and the church is Jesus, so he's making everybody wear the same underwear. I'm trying to think if there was enough to wear the Mormon underwear.
I'm trying to think if there's anything we missed that was big news that I didn't bring up.
We got thick skin.
We do.
I don't care. Yeah, people are so brave in the comments section. I'll be brave back against them. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, how many times have I told McKay, please don't argue with the people in the comments, and he doesn't listen to me.
I don't care. It's my comment section.
Oh boy, big news. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I wanted to show you this because shit. Never mind, I can't show it during this one. It needs audio.
Oh.
Sorry if this has been asked, but what are y'all now? Atheists? I am, yeah. They have no claim to Jesus' foreskin. The fuck?
I don't know what I am.
Yeah, you can go ahead. I never claim.
I consider myself to be a spiritual person. I don't know what it is. I feel like there's something. I don't think it has to be tied to a deity or like somebody in charge. I just don't think that this is it.
Oh, the big news of our announcement. That's
duh.
What.
Oh my God.
Hello?
Thank you, Rebecca. And Hero of Canton, I think. Big news, yeah.
Oh boy, big news.
Yeah, I think I fall in the agnostic category somewhere in there.
I fall under the agnostic atheist, as in, no, I don't believe there's anything out there. At least not at a higher power necessarily.
Yeah.
I guess I'll let you take it away.
Well, this is more your project than mine.
Is this well, I mean, it kind of was.
I am not pregnant. I'll just put that out.
Oh, no. Oh, fuck no.
No.
Yeah, no.
I do have a surgery date. So
Oh
I
yeah.
am potentially getting a partial hysterectomy. It will be up to my surgeon once he gets in my uterus.
To figure it out.
But on March 20th, I will be going under the knife to get some endo taken out. So, but that's not the big announcement.
Okay. So I guess this is kind of my brainchild.
It is.
So I was on TikTok one day and there was a guy talking about you can buy a computer for super cheap. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I bought this secondhand computer so that we could do gaming streams, right? And one of the ideas that we had for quite a while, but I didn't really have any way to do it because I wasn't going to play the game on the computer that we're streaming on because it was just it's a Mac. There's too many moving parts that are just going to go wrong and have issues. So I bought this computer so we can play The Sims a la Sister Wives, among other things.
Can we make a temple, maybe?
Could we make a temple? Could we make a little compound? You know?
Could we give Mary the barn dominium?
The barn dominium that she always wanted.
The wet bar.
A trailer for...
A trailer for Janelle.
A camper for Janelle.
No,
Cody
I
never
want Janelle
stays
to get
in.
the house she wants. Like, if
No.
we're giving Janelle a house, we're giving her a good one.
But here's... and we can vote on this. I
Funny
don't
sense.
want to name them
No.
those people. I
No.
want it to be... We can make up our own stories and whatever.
And we can do crazy shit. Like
And we can inspire it with Sister Wives.
We can do crazy stuff. Like, I've got... Like,
Jordan
do
loves
Sims.
goofing with the mods.
I get hyper fixated on
So-
Sims, and so I have a bunch of mods. Like, we could do crazy shit. Like, we could do like the killing each other and stuff mods, and like in a nice way.
I think that
YouTube
would be a little too much.
won't get mad about. No, I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen people do it on YouTube. As
Whatever.
long as it's
I
not
just don't want to
graphic,
get
I think it's
age
fine.
gated.
Yeah. So like we can do that, and then we've got other things that we can do too. Like it's not restricted to just Sims, but like cozy gaming streams like Stardew Valley.
Yeah. You can see I've got Cult of the Lamb on here, and then other things that I.
Cult of the
wanted
Lamb
to
is
play.
so fun.
Cult of the Lamb is really fun.
You start your own cult. It's super cute.
They have added stuff since.
Oh, really?
Yeah, since we played it. We played that game when it came out, and like before any of the first patches came out. So they've added stuff.
Animal Crossing. Yeah, I used to play
Animal Crossing. I would like to play some games like that on like Switch or whatever.
I used to.
I don't think we could emulate.
You can
them or
import member
whatever.
created Sims too. Ooh.
Ooh,
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would take submissions honestly. If somebody I don't want anybody to like sink a lot of time into it, but
Provost
yeah.
most eligible Sims.
Provost most eligible.
So yeah, I'm gonna look for some like unhinged mods to like keep things interesting. Like
Nintendo copyright strikes Animal Crossing on streams.
does it really?
I feel like that.
Gabe upgraded membership to Celestial Kingdom. Thank you.
What's good, Gabe? So yeah, I need to test things out a little more. I pulled it up and I was checking
Good night,
things
Caroline.
that I had set up previously, and stuff had broken. So I need to work out some of the kinks. But
Make it
I
headphones.
have it working. I've tested it. I know that it works. So everything should be good. And if it goes better, we can upgrade to bigger and better things. Honestly, this was a computer that I spent $200 on, and I wanted to make it a budget thing so that if it was a viable thing that people were interested in, then we can do that. Oh, we should play Stray too
We
for
could
the
play
kitties.
Stray for the kitties. Well, and I thought we could also do like, since you guys watch us for the content that we make, we can integrate that. Like,
Yeah,
talk
and
about things that we wouldn't normally make.
That's the benefit of having two people, because Jordan is good at playing The Sims. I have not really played The Sims since the original.
I'm a Sims diehard.
So she would be more suited to playing The Sims, and then that leaves another person to answer questions, to talk, make jokes, and everything. And then other games I am more suited to play, like Cult of the Lamb. I would be able to.
I'm
Stardew
just a
Valley,
cozy
we
gamer.
could probably both.
We could probably both do that.
We could do it. I have 2 copies on 2 separate Steam accounts.
Y'all, I am a Sims weirdo. I have Wicked Whims installed on mine, okay?
Oh, dude,
my Sims get freaky.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say
that.
it.
That's also why I was like, we can't have that same shit on the computer that we stream on because we will get banned.
I have a very sophisticated strip club that I run on one of my Sims plays. Like, I hyperfixate on Sims for a hot minute, and then I'll swap to something else. Like,
oh Lord, it's late. Noah, no worries. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
We're just.
But here's what this means. I'll say here's what this means. Because we're doing gaming streams now, that means that we're going to be streaming 2 nights a week now. So that means that
it won't replace this normal stuff.
It won't replace our normal stuff. So you're going to get our regular content, what we usually talk about on Tuesdays at 7, now that we're back on track and I'm not dying. And then we'll have our gaming stream on Thursday nights at the same time. We're monogamous. I can't handle polyamory. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
And I'm good with that. I
respect people who can do it.
I can't even handle what I'm already given. So
like, it's too much. It's too much. But yeah, so we'll be streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays for now. That's the plan.
Yeah, unless anybody has a I hate streaming on Fridays because I don't want to overlap with Jen and James.
Jen and James and us try to keep our stuff.
Yeah.
Because we share a lot of our audience, right? Like, a lot of you guys came to us from Jen, so we try to keep our stuff so they don't overlap.
Yeah. I like people being able to be at their premieres and be here live if they want to. That way it's not like a overlap thing.
And everything
play Sims on Facebook?
I don't know that you can do that.
There's Facebook Sims?
There's Facebook Sims? I didn't know that. Everything else will stay the same. So, like, our streams on Tuesday nights will still probably be 2 hours. And then we'll be streaming here on YouTube. I don't think we have any plans on, like, going to Twitch or anything like that. Like,
no,
we'll keep everything here on YouTube because that's where we're at.
We're established. There's no need to, and we'll title them game streams or whatever.
Yeah, so you'll know, like, Tuesdays are our regular, Thursdays are our gaming stream, but we'll talk about, like, certain topics and whatnot.
Yeah, or if we want to get the broader audience, we'll leave it to the regular stream.
Yeah. So
we could game with Jen for real,
for sure.
dude.
Jen's Funny Sims video are some of my favorites. Like,
that was the inspiration.
Yeah.
I will.
100%.
We were like, that is so cool.
If you haven't watched Jen's Sims video, it's hilarious. So yeah, everything will be here. Nothing changes on our platform. Everything's going to be here.
Harry Henderson. Keep it up, y'all. Thoughts on Mormon church spending $174 million on an industrial property in Florida? I thought it was an office park.
I don't know.
They're leasing it out.
It's
an investment property.
It's just an investment property.
Yeah.
So they're not doing anything churchy with it. It's just money.
No, this isn't anything new. They have investment properties like that all over the United States that I know of for sure, and likely in other parts of the world that we might not have documentation for because of the location and how that country runs records and things like that. But what is the site that... Is it the Truth and Transparency Foundation?
Yeah.
Go to the Truth and Transparency Foundation website. They might have we've talked about it before, but that was almost 2 years ago now. And they have purchased a lot of things since, but this is something that they do pretty regularly. I know for a fact that there was a really expensive property that they bought in Texas that is leased out to Northrop Grumman, the defense contractors, and other places like that. They have residential properties that they own that they lease out. For example, right across from the temple in Philadelphia, they have an entire apartment building that they own. They lease to whoever wants to live there. And there's other ones in like California and stuff like that. So yes, the Mormon church, we got to stop calling it the church. It's the Mormon Corporation
at this point.
No church. Jesus does not need investment properties.
I agree.
Even if Jesus were real and alive, he would not need investment properties. You're telling
Julie,
me,
don't worry, we
you're
won't
telling
leave
me
you
that God is so powerful, but he abides by money?
Morm Corp.
Be for real right now.
Morm Corp.
Yeah. And they got that tax exempt status, baby.
Indeed they do.
The thing I hate the most is when people are like, oh, well, it's not with tithing money. Yeah, it is from gains and other business ventures. But how were those gains gotten? And how were those business ventures started? Because eventually, at some point, tithing money had to be used.
It all comes back around.
Or donations of some sort. At some point, somebody had to spend somebody's tithing money or donation money on something to be able to get that shit started.
Yeah.
It didn't come out of thin air. So I know that it wasn't necessarily taken from the tithing account, but still.
Some of it. I mean, think about the mall.
And the surplus gets invested too. It's not like they just have this savings account that nothing happens.
That's a good promo for those of you that aren't members. We did McKay and I, when we were still living in Utah, we took you on a tour of all the like major Mormon spots in Salt Lake. So we took you to Temple Square, we took you to the conference center, we took you to the church-owned mall that's super bougie. So if you want to watch that, become a member, because then you'll be able to see that.
Yeah.
It's
So
part of
anyway.
the exclusive content. It just reminded me that we did that video.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
So
So
yeah.
there's another reason to become a member.
Of our channel, not of the Mormon Church.
Yeah, no, don't become a member of the Mormon Church, please.
Oh, I still need to watch the mall tour. Yeah.
We had so much fun doing that.
It was fun. We were running around and my shoddy camera work. Crazy.
Well, a lot of my camera work also. It was not great.
I think it was people selling in church, scamming in the name of God, like multi-level marketing. Yeah.
Well, like, how many MLMs are headquartered in Utah? Like, that's a whole other freaking topic.
Yeah.
Like, who's more prone to MLMs than Mormon women? Like, it is predatory.
Yeah. Even, I can't remember which leader it was, but one of the Mormon leaders were like, our people are so gullible. Like, buddy, it's right there in front of you. Why are they?
Yeah, where did that come
Why are
from?
they like that?
That was because, like, Utah has, like, the highest rate of scams or something, wasn't it? Of, like, people getting scammed. And then people were like, Mormons are the most because it is. Like, you watch the Lula Rich documentary, Aiden Lewis, like, perfect example. I need somebody to find me Sensi that's not Sensi, okay? Because I love Sensi.
I put my foot down when it comes to Sensi.
Because
Fuck that.
I grew up with Sensi because my mom was super into it, okay? So I got attached to a lot of the Sensi scents, but I refuse. McKay refuses to let me buy from them for good reason.
Yes, I'll bring it. I'll bring
a headband. Oh my gosh. I have so many now that you can use. So I need like an alternative that's like still smells good, that is like, but it still has the waxy things. Because I know that like Walmart and Target and stuff have those, but like I need the good ones, right? Like I need the ones that aren't shit. I can't remember what Lula Rich is on.
I thought it was on Amazon.
I think it's on Amazon.
Hulu.
Oh, maybe. Yankee Candles. Okay. Probably recipes for Scentsy knockoffs. That's fair.
Can we buy Yankee Candle on
Etsy? I do buy all, like, you guys, I buy stuff from Etsy all the time.
Yeah, there's the Etsy buy.
All my book stuff is generally from Etsy. I like buying from peeps who make their own stuff. Okay. All right. Yankee Candle, I got Etsy. Okay. I got some Amazon Prime is where Lula Rich is.
I just melt BBW.
Bath and Body Works. God.
Hey, we love BBW too.
Oh my God. Okay. Maybe I'll do that. I haven't watched Daughters of the Cult. I've heard good things about it. Lindsay Hansen Park is in it, and so
oh yeah,
she's solid. Anytime she's in anything, I'll watch it.
Did I bring up that somebody from that's related to that family bought our Christmas tree?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know if I brought that up on stream.
I don't know that you did.
I feel like maybe I did. If you guys are unfamiliar, let me know.
I think we should eventually do a video on MLMs and Mormons. There's so much MLM coverage on YouTube. I feel like we're entering into the space where we're like the novices when it comes to MLMs, and people are going to be like, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true, you have that wrong, blah, 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 blah. And that drives me nuts.
Wait, what?
Like, anytime we do something that's like relatively out of our
scope,
and then people are like, that's wrong. It's like, oh my God, stop. Just stop.
I'm unfamiliar. Oh shit. Okay, let me give you the quick version because I'm hungry. The quick version of the story is I was selling our old Christmas tree on Facebook Marketplace because we got a different one that was better suited for in our new house, and somebody contacted me about it, and I was like, okay, cool. And she was, I just wanted to check the profile to make sure it was like somebody who had kind of an established profile and wasn't like trying to scam me or whatever. And I noticed the last name was LeBaron. I was like, okay. So I clicked on her friends list, and I was like going through the public friends, and there were other people named LeBaron in the friends list that were like from Chihuahua, Mexico. I was like, oh my God, this is that LeBaron family that she was related to. I'm pretty sure she's from here, but she married in.
You can't
to
escape
that family.
it.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't escape Mormonism ever.
Nope. It's everywhere. It's everywhere we go. I mean, I don't even think did we talk about that we ate with the missionaries at Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah. You'd posted about it.
That's true. Yeah, I did. Somebody said Illuminati's not doing MLM content anymore. Or are they just not doing YouTube at all? That's really surprising to me. Because they're really big on that stuff.
I thought I heard something shitty about Illuminati lately.
Maybe
it was somebody else.
YouTube lore is not my thing, so I don't know much.
Maybe just do a video talking about the MLMs that are based in Utah / owned by Mormons.
Yeah,
it'll be
that's
a specific tie-in for your channel, not general MLM content.
Because there is a lot. I mean, there's...
Oh, she got very canceled. I can't...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Okay, I don't feel so bad anymore. Like, am I out of the loop on something?
What was she doing? Is embroiled in massive controversy because she has been abusive AF. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Shani is always in with the fucking info before I can even get the question out of my mouth. Thank you, Shani. You're amazing.
Shani or Song of Solace?
Shani.
I mean, both of you were just on top of it tonight.
Shani with the pulling Utah code.
Oh, I know,
like,
right?
Terminally online. Hey, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I'm not up on YouTube lore. I just knew that Illuminati.
Oh, plagiarism, scamming, abuse. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
That's a big oof.
I mean, I know enough, you guys, that I know that the McBrooms are getting divorced. I mean, that's well out of our range, and I know that. Yeah. I was pretty proud of myself.
That's only because
H3. So there's that.
If it wasn't related to a massively viral TikTok and it's not related, it wouldn't come up on H3 podcasts. We usually don't hear about it.
But there are a lot of MLMs headquartered in Utah. New Skin, Young Living, USANA, doTERRA. Let's see. Those are the big ones. Unique.
True,
Unique we used
like
to drive by.
California.
Jamberry Nails. I remember that one. I'm going through these to see if there's other ones I recognize. Perfectly Posh. Not familiar with that one.
Another reason why I cannot escape Mormonism, there's not a single route I can take where I don't, or when I go to my parents, where I don't pass within 100 yards of a church building. There's no way for me to get to my parents' house.
Nope.
I would have to, like, I don't even know. Well, and there's a Community of Christ church.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Mormonism as well.
Well, Idaho, yeah. Like, what's that one that has the giant factory or the giant office building? Melaleuca.
Oh, yeah.
They're right there.
Melaleuca.
Yeah, I heard that Paul and Morgan tried to do something else and it kind of backfired a little bit. Because the guy that they went and interviewed or spent time with, like, their audience
like,
wasn't a fan.
Christian.
Which I think is funny.
Dude, they are like... There has to be like a fucking
And Bethany's just nonstop sex now. Like, Jesus Christ, girl.
There has to be like a case study on Paul and Morgan on like how many L's they're just constantly taking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Community of Christ is much better than Mormon Corp.
100%. Well, and Bethany is just like fixated on, well, and the whole bot gate, like that happened over Christmas. I don't know if you guys paid attention to that, where the Girl Defined account had that bot that was responding to comments. And so people would be like, how do I donate to Planned Parenthood? And then the bot would automatically respond, sent you a DM. And they didn't turn it off. So when it went on for days.
Osis, I brought up a building that Northrop Grumman was leasing. I was wrong. You were right. It's Raytheon. That's the one that I was talking about. They own that.
Okay, so let's have a therapist moment here. As a therapist who does a lot of like work in sex, like as a couples therapist, and my supervisor, who I spend an hour with a week, who advises me and helps me, has a PhD in like clinical sexology. She's a sex therapist. Like, there's nothing that Bethany is offering you that is truly helpful. Like, I'm sorry. Like, the last thing I saw she posted was to wear lingerie under your clothes to get yourself in the mood. Like, girly pop, I'm hot. I don't want to wear lingerie under my clothes. Like, there's nothing that Bethany's offering you that's like helpful. Like, if you want like true help, like, listen to the experts, like listen to the sex therapists, because they're going to get you where you want to go. And you don't even have to go to one. Like, they have podcasts and shit. Like, you can listen to Natasha Helfer. There's like, you know, don't listen to Bethany.
Yeah.
Dear God. Don't listen to Bethany.
That was the TikTok I wanted to show. You haven't seen it, but I don't have I need to update my loop back. I need to get that figured out so you guys can hear the audio.
Bort is my new favorite name for Bethany. Like, Bort I love so much. Bort. She did a Q&A today. That doesn't surprise me. Well, and she started her new Instagram account, and then she started a new Instagram account for helping people like grow their social media. I'm like, Bethany, just please stop. Just please.
No, girly pop. She's diversifying her portfolio.
Oh my
God.
God.
Her revenue streams.
Like, I can't. Yeah, Bethany going into sex-based career is definitely an interesting change I was not anticipating. Never would have bet on that.
We don't even get to put it on this year's bingo card.
No, but grifting per usual. Like, she's niching it up.
I know. She needs to niche it the fuck down. What are you doing?
I wonder how pre-marriage Bort would react to current Bort. Like, they would not even be able to stand each other. I guarantee you.
She would burst into flames.
She would burst into flames.
Wonder if she's going to pull a Brittany Dawn and completely pivot back in a few years. Who knows?
That's an interesting thought, because there are a lot of people who are not a fan of what she's doing.
Absolute necessity.
Oh, yeah. Morgan's pregnant again, which I'll keep my opinions on that to myself.
Okay. I'm hungry, so I'm going to cut it off there.
Okay, so our plan is Tuesday and Thursday starting this week.
Tuesday and Thursday.
So
expect us.
So you'll see us Tuesday, and then
let's do a member stream, member Patreon stream.
I was going to suggest that also.
I want to watch a movie.
Okay.
Because now we have a way to do it.
Okay.
And I've just been sitting on it for a long time. We can watch a Mormon movie. I think that would be good. Don't forget to feed Tom. He was fed like an hour and a half before this even started.
He's asleep. You guys can't see him, but he's asleep. He was
just being dramatic. Someone supply some loaves and fishes for McKay. Real. I just got tuna was on sale at the store today, so I got.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram if you don't already. Because we post updates there. I post book updates there. I got McKay to start Crescent City for my book lovers.
Yeah, and we're fucking up, and we have to move stream. I just changed the time on here, but I update people on
Instagram.
On Instagram or the Discord.
So you always know what's happening.
Sage is the fucking man when it comes to updating everybody on the Discord when we are just goofing it up on our timeliness. So
Elliot Bracken, welcome to the Celestial Kingdom.
Sons of Provo. We can put out a little.
We can do a poll.
I have a little box set that I got when we went to Deseret Book with Jen and James last year. So
maybe that's what we'll do. We'll do a poll of the movies.
We'll do a poll. Anyway, we love
haven't seen
you.
any of
Welcome
those.
to all the new members. Thank you for people who were gifting memberships to share and spread the love.
Thank you for joining. If you support us, even like it makes a huge difference. It makes us able to do this. So thank you.
Thanks for bearing with us if you were here starting at the start. And rewatch crew or replay crew.
We love
Shout
you
out to
too.
you. And we're looking forward to an awesome 2024.
With more content for you.
More content and having fun and doing stuff. So we love you, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.